They're
3, 2, 1. We should have saved that one for the
Dude,
air.
I might have too many questions today.
Too many questions?
I know. I put a call out and everybody went, yes, okay.
Listen.
One.
You only have one?
We get, dude, a lot of our people listen. They don't ask us.
That ruins the joke I was about to say, because I was about to say, when you don't record for 3 months, that the questions get pent up. But I guess not.
No, not with young adults.
We had 7.
Buried.
We had 7, so that's pretty normal for us.
You had 7 questions?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not
I
terrible.
thought you guys normally had more than
The
that.
number of completion.
I love that.
Take that for what it's worth. Normally it's like 7 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, normally I would say. No. But it's good to see you. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
It's been a minute. And we do need to tell this, because I knew we were going to record again, because Brad, we're recording this on a Tuesday. What's today's day? August 25th?
5th.
In 2026, the year of our Lord. And I knew we were going to record another one. I knew the podcast wasn't dead, because we have to record a finale at some point.
Yes.
If it does die, we have to at least do a finale.
Yeah, we have to have a yeah, we have to.
So like even
When
if
will we know
even if it is
dies?
dying
Who
or
cares?
dead, we still need
We
to
decide when it dies. If you,
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I was like, I knew we were going
Is
to record
Justin setting up a death of the podcast? Is that
No,
what that
that's
is?
what it sounds
not
like.
intentionally.
Is he
I'm
setting
not.
it up?
Not intentionally, I'm not.
Oh,
Feels like it.
But I knew this summer. I was like, at some point, someone's going to have to text the group chat of us to get the podcast back and going. And I just thought that was going to be me. And Sunday, Mr. Bradley Calick over here texted the
you,
group
Brad.
chat,
Truly,
which
yep.
really surprised me. It really did.
Did
Yeah.
it?
It did.
Yeah.
I thought you might mention it in person.
Nah.
Like, I thought Steve would be in person. I thought I'd have to be the one to spearhead it. So, Brad, I want to say,
You're welcome.
Publicly.
That's what I want to say.
I never knew this meant so much to you.
It does mean a lot. To
It
him.
it means more than you know.
Yep.
It is a great mental break.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, we have a big
Yeah.
this week with fall kickoff,
Sometimes it drives me crazy.
but in a good way though. It's like a different. I don't know. It's a good thing for your brain. It just thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a busy week. We have a busy week this week, and it's nice to for 2.5 hours, I'm gonna not have to think about it.
Not have to
And
think
that's a
about the
good
week.
thing.
Just think about questions and talk.
Yeah, it's a healthy thing.
Have a conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
and
glad to know on his busy weeks he can take 2.5 hour breaks. Shoot the breeze with his friend.
There it is. That's why Brad wanted to do the podcast, so he could.
yeah, that doesn't
ridicule
do
you.
well to say that I work a lot. You know what I mean? That doesn't, but
That
really,
was slam this week. You want to take 3 hours on Tuesday morning and just talk?
Let's see, golf. We could play 4 hours of golf or 3 hours of podcast.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's gonna sharpen us, man. It's gonna make us
All of the
better
above.
pastors, better counselors, all this.
That's right.
Really,
It does help
you know,
you.
I've
It does help
debated.
you think through things.
It does, and I've debated how much of a joke I want to make about this. So I think it's important in life to just be able to laugh at things.
I like
So
that.
we're gonna take the joke route. It's really your and Sam's fault we've not met.
That's right.
Yes.
in 2.5
Yes,
months.
it is. It has
How
been
dare
our fault.
Yeah. How is your? Can you
Come
give?
on.
I know we don't always like to be incredibly public,
Oh.
but can you give the podcast?
Are we
an update?
private?
I
Are we
don't know.
members only?
I don't know.
Patreon.
Semi-private.
I don't think it's sole pays.
Well,
to
there's
listen to
people.
this.
There's people that don't know. They think we've just gotten lazy over 3 months.
My,
but
my
that's-
wife's been pregnant, and she was in the hospital for a long time.
What was
Like
what was
43 days?
40 something days?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a long time.
that's is that 40 days from? Does that include?
No, it was 30. It was the longest stint was 30 something consecutively.
So that doesn't include when we came to see y'all that night. That started the clock at 30 days until she was gone, or did you include that with the other week?
That was the last one, wasn't
Yeah.
it? I think
Well, I remember she got to go home.
she didn't come home after that, right?
Yeah,
After
but she
the-
came home like that day and then went
Yes.
back that day.
Yeah. And that started the 30 something clock.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Damn, that's
exactly.
crazy, man.
Long time.
I
Very long time.
remember when, so she beat my dad, like the record my dad, that I knew my dad had been in the hospital for. Like,
Yeah.
She was beat him by like 10 days, whatever. And I remember one time my dad, he was out of the hospital, but then he had to go back and he had to stay for a couple hours and he was gonna have to go to Duke. They were gonna move him to Duke again. And so my mom was with my dad and she said, "Hey, can you come and just stay with dad for a couple hours while I go home and get like my suitcase or whatever?" So I was like, "Absolutely, sure." So I go up to the hospital and me and dad are sitting there and I think I was in the room with him like 3 or 4 hours. And I remember around like hour 3, I looked at him and I was like, "Bro, how did you do this?"
Oh, it's miserable, dude.
Like I was literally, how did you do it? And obviously we know like it is nothing but the grace of God and the strength he gives you. But I was just like, man, I can't. 43 days.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Like the walls start closing in on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But Sam's doing great.
She's doing great.
Buxton's doing great.
Bucks.
Sorry to announce his name on the podcast.
Yeah, baby Bucks. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I got a video on my phone for the first ultrasound appointment.
Yeah.
Where I gotta do this bit where like every now and then I'll just randomly pull out my phone at night and be like, "What's up, Insta fam?" And I'll just pretend like I'm an influencer. And
You actually do that?
But I don't. But I do it to mess with Sam because it would just be the two of us in the living room watching TV.
I didn't know you did
And I'll
this
pull out the phone and be like, "What's up, Insta fam? I'm here with Insta Sam," and like I'll just do something stupid, like and just
He's so cute.
try to make her laugh, right?
He's so cool.
And but I was doing this. We were at the first ultrasound appointment. I go, "What's up, Insta fam?" I was like, "We're here to see when baby Buxton's due date's gonna be," something like that. I can't remember what I said. And like I panned it over to Sam, and she goes, "No," and I go, "Baby Bucks," and she goes, "No, that's not gonna be his name." And then I go, "Baby Bucky," and she goes, "Still no." and so I have this video footage of
That's
her being adamantly against to the name Buxton, and now she loves her baby Bucks.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Power of persuasion.
You had me ever since you said Brooks, Bakes, and Bucks.
Yeah.
Brooks
I was like,
Bakes
yeah,
and
that's
Bucks.
it. It's got to be it.
That's so great.
It's cool. So in all seriousness, because we recorded before camp, and then like in my head, we were
That's
going
right.
to do like an early July episode and recap camp
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
But like all jokes aside, I was like, not that the podcast and our listeners are not important, but I was like, man, Brad's kind of got a major life thing going on
Yeah,
right
so
now.
we're fine.
Yeah,
It's okay to wait.
now.
It's all
It's okay
good.
to wait for family, man.
It's all good.
Yes.
Someone did ask us. This segues in. Someone did ask us how were we doing and what was our summer like this year. So shout out to them for caring about us,
I love that.
not just wanting answers. But that was your. That was. Is that? Does that suffice for your answer for how are y'all doing? How was your summer this year?
Yeah, I think so.
How are you doing now? You glad to be back in the? I was gonna say back in the flow, but you're in an entirely new flow because you got 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is it insane?
He really wants to know because he needs
It's
to know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not.
That will lead into my summer.
It's not terrible. It's not like it's not terrible. You sleep. You don't sleep. Obviously, yeah, you know that.
Sleep.
You look like it.
Yeah, I'm
Who
pretty tired.
needs
Dude.
it?
Pretty tired. Nah, I mean, it's different, but it's not like crazy. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
The boys love him. They adore him.
That's
Like,
good.
they absolutely adore him.
Yeah. Of all the things I'm excited for, I can't wait. Because for the listeners that don't know, Courtney's, we were just talking about Courtney's due in October 19th. And I can't wait to watch Rocky and Crosby.
They're
like,
gonna love the child.
I cannot wait. Especially Rocky. Like Crosby, because he's aware we're having a baby. But I know like Rocky will actually be able to actually help to some
Yep.
extent,
Yep.
because that girl's crazy. And so it's going to be really cool to watch her, especially if it's a girl. Because we're waiting to find out.
Oh
So we
my
don't-
goodness, that's awesome.
Do you not know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
know
we're gonna
that.
wait to find out. So we have no idea.
I love that.
It's
I
a
couldn't
girl.
do that.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
boy.
if we wouldn't have already had a boy and girl, we wouldn't do that.
I like that.
But
Makes
because we
sense.
have both already, and we got a lot of stuff that we saved and things like
You're
that.
like, who cares?
Yeah, we're gonna wait and find out. So
Have
we're
fun.
very excited.
Enjoy.
Yeah, we're very excited. So yeah, but my summer's been good.
I
Have
wonder,
their
I
summer,
wonder if
Steve.
Rocky. I wonder if Rocky's hoping for
A
either
girl.
boy. She's hoping.
Oh no,
for
she wants a girl. She
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
So what's
That's
going to
their
be
baby
funny is
steps, man.
if this is a boy, just
Yeah.
to watch Rocky's face go. I don't know what I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're probably if it's a boy, there's probably going to be a little bit of a period of having to talk her and like be like, babe, it's okay. Like
okay.
there will probably be something. I know she will love him. Like there's no
It's-
doubt in my
it's
mind,
al- it always-
because she loves her brother so much.
Of course.
Yeah, just
Um,
double
yeah.
double love.
Slight disappointment.
There will be
You know
disappointment.
what I
mean?
for
It's
her.
okay.
I don't think Crosby wants a brother, like he says a brother,
Yeah,
but
he
I don't
don't
think he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Rocky, she cares. she cares.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, I
and
think so. That
so it'll
makes
be
sense.
interesting.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'll do my summer.
Yeah.
Camp was great. It was awesome year. Awesome year camp. Yeah, July was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So not to bring the pod down immediately.
Oh, wow.
But y'all know. So my grandma went home to be with the Lord in July. Just legend, and hero of my life. And that was a long 2 weeks. Like very, very long 2 weeks. And so it was crazy because we went from so we had Kids Week. Shout out to David Joyner. Kids Week. I left on Friday of Kids Week to drive to Tennessee, preach in Tennessee. Yeah, I chose Tennessee over Texas.
That's what he did too.
Get that song. Shout out to number 1 on the Billboard for 19 weeks now, Ella. But so we went to Tennessee. Josh hates that joke. So we went to Tennessee though, and then So that was my grandma took kind of like a hard turn was that Saturday night. So we came back from Tennessee, went straight to her house, basically lived at her house for the whole week, just until she went home to be with the Lord. And then her funeral was the next Tuesday. So, bro, July was a blur. I mean, crazy blur. But it was good. A lot of good in that. Watch the Lord work through all that was awesome. But I think more than probably ever, I was ready for August and like the school year to get started. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great summer.
Some normalcy.
Yeah, just some normalcy because July felt anything
but
normal. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Anything but normal. But it was good. Again, how the Lord does it in His goodness, it was good. But it was hard too. So yeah, I'm glad school's back in, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad. So I don't know if that answers the question for summer.
No,
a lot
it
of awesome stuff, some sucky stuff, but sorry, Mom. It was good.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve? How was your summer?
I will say that I told you this, but I'm going to tell everybody this. When your message during her homegoing service, I don't know if there was ever a time I felt like standing up and shouting in a message than at a funeral. I've never had that until that.
Thanks, man.
I was in the balcony and I was like,
I heard Steve amen a couple
oh
times.
my
and it helped me.
gosh. I was like, I got to stay in this seat. These people don't know me. But it was so great.
You know what changed?
So
You know what changed my? And I'm so glad, just in God's providence and kindness, like for me to walk through that personally this summer. I'm so glad that we went through John and through John 10. And I've never thought about this. Brad's already gonna roll his eyes because I'm already like preaching a sermon already done.
We haven't even got to a question yet.
This is a question. How's your summer?
I guess technically.
But it gave me, what gave me so much peace, man?
Tell us, Joshua.
It's in John 10 where Jesus says, like, I'm the good shepherd. You know what I'm saying? And he leads us and all that stuff, right? And it's in John 11 that he says, I'm the resurrection and the life. And to know that, like, our good shepherd is so good that he can lead us legitimately through anything.
Right.
Even through death, because our good shepherd already faced death. And that just brought me so much hope. And I think I said a sentence like that in Mama's sermon or the funeral for her sermon or the sermon for her funeral. Cause man, I just think that's so cool. It's like if someone says he's the good shepherd and he dies and stays dead, and it's like, well, he can lead me through a lot of stuff, but apparently he can't lead me through that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like for Jesus to say that, and then it's like, yeah, now to know the good shepherd can even lead through death.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick, man.
That's so good.
That's sick. And I think to have that land in my heart last fall, before I even knew my grandma had cancer, I knew she was 96, going to be 96. I knew that time was coming inevitably. Yeah, it was super cool, man. It was super, super cool. So thanks for saying that. I appreciate it.
Man.
Heard Steve's amen up in the balcony.
Amen.
It's a cool church to preach in, man.
It's cool. A cool church. The wraparound.
Yeah, it's a cool church.
Vibe. It's great.
Yeah. All right, Steve, how was your summer?
It's great, man. Camp was fantastic. A lot of students. In fact, a lot of students that came up to high school just felt the Lord leading them into some type of full-time vocational, the Lord's intentionality on their life and calling. And I'm super excited about that. Had a couple of students respond to the gospel and give their life to Christ. And so we're looking at that. Great summer of being a granddad with Roran and Stevie Lorraine, spending time with them.
Look at you.
And Tracy.
That's
and trying
awesome.
to do all that. It was great, man. Just a great time to spend together, getting ready for school year, and school year's back in swing. So Tracy's back to being a principal at Parkwood. Grinding.
Mm-hmm.
She's grinding all summer.
Yeah.
So, and just enjoying that. But yeah, July was crazy for everybody.
Yeah.
But not as crazy as yours.
Yeah.
But crazy was
Or
a grind,
yours.
man. Or yours.
Yeah.
Think about that.
It was
When
a
you said
wild
it, I was
month,
like,
man.
that was a crazy month.
It was a wild month. Yeah.
It's a crazy month. Not only of just playing ministry events, but just life.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the record, and I'll say it. July is my least favorite month as a youth pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really is, because like you build, so much anticipation and preparation for camp, and then the school year obviously is August, so you get rhythm. So July is just very,
watch that.
scattered.
Did you see that? I saw this yesterday on social media. I can't remember what was that. The guy was like, "When did church in the summer become like preseason NFL?"
I know.
And he's like, this is when all the role players actually get to preach. This is like the starting players. They're nowhere to be found. It's like, where are they? And it's like, look, dude, no, you're getting this guy this week.
The depth chart's
you're
revealed.
Yeah, you're getting this guy next week.
Guys trying to make the roster.
Yeah, he goes, look, I'm not
That's
saying
awesome.
I wasn't fed, but I'm saying I don't know where they at.
Well, we're calling up some people, giving them a shot.
That's a great bit.
Preseason.
We should send that to John. Not that he would see it, but John Christ could do a great bit on that.
He really
that'd
could.
be
He
great.
would. He would kill it.
That'd be really good. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was
Sure.
pretty-
It is funny.
It is.
Like who was the first one? I mean, it makes sense.
to just
like, I get
decide
it.
to just like, hey, summer doesn't mean much. We're jumping ship for a while. Because that's basically like it's like people ain't getting saved in the summer.
No, that's not what
let's jump ship.
That's not what it would say. It is funny though, because like most guys, like obviously preacher, historically is taking July off here. Like you look around, like most guys don't preach either June or July.
That's true.
Which makes sense. Like, it really does I get it. Like it's a good brain break, and
Why not February? Why not March?
It's just in the rhythm. I think it's in the
I
rhythm.
don't know, man. That's a good question. I mean, there's a church that we know of that I think it is. Is it July? No, it's the whole summer. They for the whole summer cancel all life groups, all everything.
Yeah.
It is only worship services as a family. The only thing they offer is preschool for Sunday mornings, but they say it's an intentional thing where we all come together, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's wild.
So they go to camp, they do all that stuff, but they don't do any graded midweeks or a lot of Sunday school or anything during the summer. And they just
It is a strange. I would say that it wasn't until I came here that I realized, like, because I thought it was like schools, like the school's schedule.
Oh yeah.
I thought it revolved like heavily around that. And I think it does to an extent.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's very interesting. Like summer
Yeah.
just kind of like dead.
It's different. Yeah.
It just dies.
Well,
off.
I mean, we've talked about this before, and I know no one asked this question, so I'm not going to go on a tangent on it. But like, we've talked about it before, where I just don't, and I'm not hating on youth groups in the county that do this, but like youth groups just stop meeting in July.
Right.
And I've never understood that personally, just because I'm like, man, like we got kids that feel called to preach. Like,
Yes.
give them opportunities. We have, guys in our ministry that want to preach. Give them opportunity. Absolutely. But also, I get why, like, for me, like, I'm not going to go through a book like we would in July because I know attendance is going to be so hit or miss. And that's not a bad thing. It's just I know that. So use it as an opportunity to get other guys to do it. But I don't know. Anyway,
There
that's
it is.
my
So
train
cool.
of thought.
Oh, and by the way, Mathis got engaged, so he gets
Let's
married.
go!
What?
Yeah.
He
That's
got engaged
awesome.
at the beginning of the summer. Yeah. So
Wait, when?
the end of May, basically the beginning of June.
Was
And
he getting
so
married?
How does he not tell?
November 14th is
November
is
Hey,
14th.
November 17th, Rocky's birthday.
So he's
God,
super pumped.
I wish I'd have known that. I'm gonna text him.
That's fantastic news.
Wow, that's great news. Shout out to Mathis. I love it.
Out here getting engaged.
Love
Big
it.
life,
Big life.
transitions.
I love it.
Let's go,
So
dude.
good.
Well,
So
how
here-
long did they date for? Hang on. How long? They did it for a
1,000
while,
years.
right? But it was
I'm
legitimately
just
a long
joking.
time.
I'm just serious. Nah, there was like 3 years, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was a long time.
Gosh, good for him. I love that guy.
Me too.
It makes me. He's one of those when I look across the sanctuary and I see him like sitting with y'all and like I love it. I love
That's
it.
so good.
So one reason that churches don't meet in July
Yep.
is because sometimes it's hard to get volunteers
Come on.
because they're all
bud.
gone. So someone asked this question:
I feel the.
what's the difference between serving and volunteering?
At
Kind of like
church?
it. I guess. What's the difference between serving and volunteering? I kind of like that question. Or do you think there is a difference?
I think if a person, I think the phrase unintentionally defines the role for the person that's doing it. Like if you say, "Hey, I need a volunteer," then the person just comes in and says, "I'm just going to be in the room,"
Yeah.
and that's kind of it. But if instead of saying volunteer, you say everyone that's here serving, then that means you're actually, even if you're sitting in the room, you're still serving the purpose of the kingdom and the ministry. I think it's just vocabulary. It's the definition of the term. There is something that happens when you hear volunteer in your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as opposed to, hey, I need a leader or a servant.
Did it happen in your brain, Josh?
The difference?
Do you hear that?
Yeah,
When he says
Yeah.
volunteer, does something happen in your brain?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Josh is like, dude,
Josh like, that's the same thing,
nothing's
bro.
going on in my brain right now, dude.
Nothing.
Nothing is happening up here.
Because
Okay.
it's the same thing I tell leaders who basically go, "Hey man, do you have a need for something?" I'm like, "I don't really need anything, but I would love for you to serve with us." As opposed to the desperation, I gotta have a warm body. Even if I literally needed a warm body, I would never say I did. I'd say, "I'd love if you want to serve, come hang out with us," because we're fine.
And why is that? Why don't we? Because this is funny. This is a funny thing. Why don't we say we like need it?
I'm
Feel
cool
like
with
we
saying
need
that.
you.
I'm cool with saying that.
We need you.
I'm cool if we actually do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm not gonna like. To me, it's not a. I don't view it as like, oh man, I'm gonna like just paint the bleakest picture. Oh man, we need more volunteers. Holy cow!
It's
Yeah,
it's
I don't
a
wanna do that.
famine.
That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
I don't want
That's
to do
what I
that.
mean.
Yeah,
I would
Desert
never do
wasteland
that. That's what I
out
mean.
here,
So
yeah.
when I say the word, but see, here's the thing:
It
the word
sounds like that.
need, what you intend it to mean versus what they hear it to mean is important. So when you say need,
Sure.
you want to make sure and communicate, hey, I need you because we need you as part of the family. We need you as part of the serving group. But if the person hears, man, you're in desperation. All right, I don't want to, but I'll show up.
I wonder
I'm like,
why they're
please-
desperate.
Please go
I
pray.
wonder what's been going on.
Please
Like,
don't
I
do
don't
that.
want to
I
get
think
in
I
on
think
that.
there's something to how you like from our perspective
Yes.
when recruiting a leader or whatever is like how we deliver
You are
that.
vital.
Yeah, how we deliver that
I
is
get you.
big too because you can say need in a negative way. Did the camera go out on me? Well, I want the people to see me. I'm just kidding.
need to be
it's in my
seen.
voice. That's fine.
I
I'll keep
need
talking.
to be
I'll
seen.
keep talking. But
There he is.
But like if like just say, and this didn't happen, but just say like our senior leaders, say 2 of them decided to step away. If a person comes in, hey, I want to serve, like I don't
There's a
feel
need here.
I don't feel bad about saying like, yeah, man, I need someone that will step
There's
in
a
to
need
be with
here.
senior. I don't mind saying that.
There's a need in this space.
What do you think? Serving, volunteering?
What is the difference? That was the question. What is the difference between serving and volunteering?
What's the difference between serving and volunteering?
I mean, I don't think. I mean, my mind goes to like because I serve the church, but I'm paid. Does that make sense? And like you serve the church, but you're paid. You serve the church. We all serve the church, but we're paid. So we're not volunteering. We can volunteer, like things that are technically like outside of our, what some would call a job description. Like we're volunteering at that point. Like, hey, you guys need help with this? Like, I'll volunteer. I really don't think there's a difference between serving and volunteering. It seems to me like maybe like serving. I feel like, I mean, this is something I've never really thought about. Maybe serving, like there's more of a commitment behind it. Like you're but I don't really think that there is because, I mean, you volunteer on a Sunday morning to do childcare. You're serving doing childcare, and there's no like, like be here or like you're going to be like disciplined if you don't fulfill your responsibilities kind of thing. So I don't think there's like, you're not covenanting together to do this.
Sure.
Maybe you should. Maybe that could be a distinction that you make, but I don't think there's a difference. The only thing I would say is that like, yes, like Preacher Mike serves the church through pastoring, but he's not volunteering. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think the way I don't know if this is what they're asking for because I think on one hand you could argue they're the same thing.
I haven't really thought of it.
I haven't either, and so I think on one hand you could argue it's the same thing, but on the other, so they'll have the YouTube audience just can listen to my voice. It's good. There we go.
It's like going in and
gonna
out. It must be like
distract me. It's
the
going in
cord
and
might
out.
be like weighing down or something.
Somebody used the camera all the way out. So keep talking. You're good.
Okay, I'll keep talking. I'll focus.
Lock in.
I always laugh when the people that listen on Spotify, they have no idea why we're pausing right now, and the YouTube people are like, me and Brad can just cuddle up on a seat together.
That's okay.
That one's pretty big. That's a
it
pretty
is
big
kinda
chair.
big.
This one.
No, so I think when I read it initially, I was like, it's kind of the same thing. But the more I thought about it, maybe this is not what they're getting at, but it's what I kind of thought is. I think volunteering feels more like I'm checking a box of, okay, I need to do this. Like, I don't know if it's like religious. You know what I'm saying? Like
you get your community service hours.
yeah, like I'm volunteering.
for your resume.
Yeah, like I'm giving this. You know what I'm saying? And so like, yeah, sure, I'll volunteer, and it feels very transactional. You know what I'm saying? Where I think the attitude of serving is more of like, yeah, man, like I have this gift and I just want to use it, and I don't like I'll just give it freely.
There is a
and-
like submissive nature to serving.
Yes.
even that is implicit
Yeah.
in the word
yeah,
serve.
and I think serving is definitely a more biblical word. Like,
Yeah, I
think
agree.
I think it's a better word to use in
Yes,
church.
100%.
It's like, yeah, we don't need you to volunteer. Like, man, we want you to use your talents and gifts to serve. And so yeah, so I like serving better than volunteer. I definitely like that word better than volunteering. Yeah,
Amen.
it's kind of hard to focus when but it's okay.
No, I like
you're
that.
doing great. No, it's good. Don't pause it. Don't wait. That's like
Let it run through.
we're breaking the podcast rules if we pause it. You know what I'm saying?
We've paused before, haven't we? We try not to make it a habit.
Yeah, we don't make it happen. Yeah.
We try
Yeah.
to make it a habit.
But that's a great question, though. Serving versus volunteer.
See, remember earlier,
Uh-huh.
these are, they they challenge your thinking.
Yeah.
I have never thought
Do
about
you
that
have a
before.
problem with saying, I need a volunteer?
No.
Yeah.
Not like we need you. And I feel like as the body, you should be okay with hearing that. Because you should be desiring to serve.
This is we should sell the things that make Steve mad right now because he
Yeah.
can't talk into a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I can talk.
Oh no, Steve.
Trust me, buddy. I get
No,
my teacher
but they
voice
can't
on.
hear you clearly.
Get my teacher voice on.
Yeah, no, I got no problem with that. I think,
Yeah,
I think well, and the reason why I say that, just to be blunt, I pointed out earlier, who cares? Apparently there's a tremendous need in childcare at our church right now. Like tremendous. Like
Yeah.
it's the same people every Sunday who do it. There's no like you do like off and on, you know what I'm saying, rhythm. It's like, no, like you're grinding out. They've had to call in, like, you talk about depth chart. They've had to call people in recently.
Bro, I was holding
serve.
babies at Easter last year.
Let's go.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Which
no,
I
like,
love doing.
I have no problem if Ronnie or Preacher Mike gets up and says, no, like, we need you as the body of Christ, and furthermore, as the body of Christ, you should be doing something.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I think people need to hear that more.
I think too. I think my perspective gets like skewed a little bit in what I do, because I was telling someone this about summer, because our kids ministry doesn't do a lot during the summers, and I was like, I think as a high school pastor, my perspective gets a little skewed because I'm like the way we do it during the school year, where we have small groups and the amount of students we have coming, like. Yeah, I mean, I'll take as many leaders as we can that want to serve and want to give, because we do small
Same.
groups and so we
Same.
have stuff. But also with high schoolers, it's like it's a lot easier to say, "Hey, service starts at 6:30. We're ending at 8." And as long as I have 9 or 10 adults that are in the room,
Can make
so
it happen.
we can make
I
it
can
happen.
make it happen.
I totally get where David and Madison, they can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different. Their and I guess to use a word, like their need for volunteers and how they do is very different from what I have to experience on a
Oh,
Wednesday
yeah.
night. You know what I mean?
A lot more moving pieces.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm with you.
Plus it's
Exactly.
bigger.
My mind goes back to camp where, 1 Corinthians 12, where, 1 Corinthians 12:18 is like the Spirit has given each of us gifts and is uniquely arranged just for the body.
Right.
And I don't think that's just true at our church. I think it's true at
It's every
shoot,
local body.
Every local body. It's like, yeah, there's probably
So-
someone who's like, yeah, you need to be serving
Yeah.
and you're not.
So where is never mind. That wasn't the question. Sorry. My brain.
But you were
went-
going to
Hey,
ask a
ask
question,
it.
Steve?
No, it's because I agree. In the child care and preschool, there's a huge need for people to do that. But why is that the case when the church gathers, that we don't expect to have children in the gathering?
Like on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, and I get it. And
Yeah.
so, and I mean, this could.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't stop, because this could go down. Because I think
Oh, let's
yes
go
and
down
both.
it, Steve.
Because I think yes.
We
and
have
both.
nothing but time, right?
I
John?
have-
I think it's yes and both.
I say yes in both, but man, I also think that maybe the church that I was just talking about, and so man, I don't know how they do that. You actually can kind of see a picture of, you're gonna still worship Jesus
Yeah.
when you got kids running around or squirming,
Yeah.
or maybe even got a baby crying. You're still worshiping Jesus, as opposed to, why do we always feel like we got to relegate the kids someplace else when the church gathers?
No, I'm with you.
Well, children are less than, Steve.
So says
No, listen, the father of three.
I will say, that's a great,
loving,
that's a
gracious
great
father of
question.
three.
That's a great thought, because I had, I'm not saying what church, I'm not saying who they are, but I know people that have left a church. I don't know what church. I don't know who they are, but they have left a church because the pastor got up and basically pushed their, like, Sunday morning, like, hey, like, I think we're a welcoming family.
but just not. For
But if
your
you
kids.
have kids, like, we want to encourage you to take them to childcare. And like, I'll say this: when you hear that as a parent, you can hear it a number of ways. You can hear it, one, like, my children aren't welcome here, and that's okay. You can hear
and
that.
you
if
shouldn't
you want.
hear that, but that's probably.
But
not
you
within
can
you.
hear that if you want.
But you
But
can.
I will also say, and Justin, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. As one who preaches, bro, it is extreme. Like, for me, when I preach on a Sunday, dude, when you have labored intensely over that text, and you have poured everything into it, and you get to a part where you're like, this is the strong, this is the most dense meat that there is, and then a kid starts crying,
And a
and
little
you
demon.
literally see an entire section distracted,
Yeah.
and you're like, and obviously you trust God, you trust the Holy Spirit in that moment,
Yeah.
but it's like that is a distraction that could easily be avoided. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
It's
weird.
it's a tough thing though.
It
'cause-
is. There's definitely a line of like, okay, this kid's crying
Yeah,
baby.
crying baby.
Cool. If baby's crying for 5 minutes, someone,
Why are you still?
mom or dad needs to take. I mean, it should be, and I think it's okay to say that.
Yeah.
It's okay to walk.
But
into-
also, like, this is this is the pod. I'll be blunt, right? Whenever I hear sometimes pastors, oh gosh, I'm just gonna say it.
Blow it up.
When they
I don't know
say
where he's going.
well, when they say things about like they want to have a distraction because I think they think
Yeah.
it distracts them. You know, my response is I'm like, bro, just be better.
Yeah, it doesn't distract the preacher.
Like if that distracts you, but
Yeah,
some
no.
guys
Somebody
get that
does.
though.
Okay,
and
yeah, I
I'm
guess
like,
so. Some people say that.
maybe again, that is coming from a guy who regularly preaches right now to high schoolers, and so it's just
Yeah.
baked into
Oh,
it. You're
yeah.
gonna have some
It's
distractions,
woven
baked
into
into
it.
it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, bro, if a crying baby
Yeah.
is gonna throw, then you
Yeah.
need to be better.
Well,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Let-
hope that doesn't sound
so,
prideful.
So let's
but
say you
be
have,
better.
let's say you're designing a church corporate gathering space.
Yes.
Because here's the thing,
I like this,
people
Steve.
people don't go, hey, I want to leave because I love what's happening. My baby's still crying. So how do you create a space?
Yes.
Where that basically it's for the parents.
You've
to
seen
not
these.
feel
You've seen
embarrassed.
these nursing mother rooms.
And
Have you
nursing
seen these
mother
in
rooms?
churches where they
Or-
have like a glass?
Glass window for a second.
Yes. dude.
But here's another part is when I walk out into the hall, I have not left the preaching of the word.
Yeah,
In
it's
other
still
words,
there.
how do we create as seamless as possible with the technology Jesus has allowed us to have
Yep.
to go, you just walked out of the sanctuary, but you still hear the word,
Yes.
you still hear the singing, you are
Yes.
still there, and the baby settles down and you come back in.
Yes.
I mean, think
Yeah.
about that. The design of a space now.
Yep.
You could literally create a space where it's like,
Be
yeah, I can
creative.
walk and come back.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
It's a great thought. I love
I do
it.
like that.
Not really sure how we got on that, but
I'm
I
sorry.
love it. No, it's a good question. So serving and volunteering, I like serving better. I like that. I try to you implement. I just think words matter. I do, and so like I don't get what.
I just like the way you said that.
Well, they do.
I think
and
words
so,
matter.
Well, when I get leaders, like
Yeah.
we intentionally call them youth leaders.
Leaders. You're leaders.
Yeah, like you're a leader.
You're
like
leading-
I don't need high school
you're leading
volunteers.
whether
I need
you
high
think
school
you are
leaders.
or not.
I need
You're
high school
leading.
leaders. And so I like serving better than volunteering. I like that.
All right.
All right. You want to get one, Steve? You said you have what?
Yeah,
I got a
we
bunch,
lot.
bro. I got a bunch. So
Are
here's
they
the
like a
thing.
good mix of serious and blend, or a lot of-
Well, I got some serious ones here, and then I got some crazy ones. So I'll just give the first one off the list here.
Let's go.
God has a perfect plan for your life. We hear.
Okay.
That's such a good
I've
way
been
to
told.
say that.
I've been told.
So what
That's
if
great.
you miss it?
What if you miss it? Like the boat that you're late to the ferry
So that's
and
the
it
question.
goes to the island
So
and
here's
you're
a perfect plan.
stuck on the mainland.
What if you?
I
miss
loved
it?
it. It's like the old preacher illustration where the storm comes and the floods come and the guy's on top of his house and he's praying to the Lord and the boat comes by and says,
Yeah.
hey man, come on. He says, nope, the Lord's going to deliver me. Then
Helicopter comes
Yeah, he
by.
says, nope, God's got me. And he dies. He's like, Lord, why didn't you deliver me? He's like, bro, I sent you a boat and a helicopter. Come on, bro. It's a great joke.
So what if you miss it?
What if you miss it? I will say that to me the most comforting, it's providence. It's God's providence and understanding that in my opinion, people can disagree with me if they want, but they can be wrong. You can't miss it.
I've missed
You
Brad.
can't miss it. You can be in a place where, I even go to Jonah. People are like, well, Jonah, he ran from God, and yes, the answer is yes. But do note that in the ship, the men got saved on the ship. They
did.
They offered sacrifices
They
to the Lord.
did.
And so that whole idea, because you think about it, that is just a terrifying thought that like I can do something and just mess this whole thing up
And miss God's plan.
miss God's plan for
Yeah.
my life. And then and then the God of heaven is such a just terrible God that he would allow me to then live for the next 40 years of my life knowing you missed it. But I'm going to let you live for the next 40. And you missed it 40 years ago though. So now you're just existing for 40.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Have you? I'm sure y'all have heard this. Like I don't know why I didn't think about this until somebody was preaching and teaching and said, Jonah did all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And you think, so what was Jonah's life like after that? And the preacher said, you do realize we have the book of Jonah.
Yeah.
So very likely Jonah was the one who was proclaiming the goodness of God in spite of himself, which actually is a good thing. So he spent the rest of his life going, God is so good, even when I try to screw it
Yeah, I
up.
tried to mess this up.
How good is God? Which
tried.
means I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah. I like it. I was going to put maybe a slightly different spin on it.
Go for it.
Is because there is like the tension of divine sovereignty and human responsibility. There is that tension. And my mind always goes to Esther 4, where there's that famous verse, where Mordecai tells Esther, who knows, maybe God's put you here for such a time as this, right? Famous verse. But I think it's right before that or right after that is when he says, whether you stay silent or whether you act, deliverance for God's people is going to come. Like God is going to. Can you pull that up, Josh, on Esther 4 so they can see it if they're on YouTube? And basically saying like, listen, Esther, you have an opportunity to do something here and be a part of the story God is telling. But whether you act or whether you don't act, like God made a covenant to his people and God keeps his covenant. God keeps his promises. So deliverance is coming. So I think the question the kind of spin on I was going to say is like, kind of miss God's plan is like, I don't know, this is weird. It's like, you might miss it, but he won't.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, and
Like he
I think
invites you to work in his plan, which is
I think
amazing.
You can miss like opportunities.
Yes.
I do believe that. And so like that, like I do believe that you can miss opportunities. But I think like as far as the question was concerned about like God's plan, like this one thing, like this plan, can you miss that? That I would say no. Yes, you can like, you just think about like I remember somebody told me this years ago. They were like like that idea of if you don't share the gospel with somebody, like they might die and go to hell and it's on you.
Yeah.
And the person was like, no, like you're not meant to live with that burden,
Nope.
right? Because like, yes, like you might miss out on the blessing of being the person that gets to lead them to Jesus, right? But that person, whether or not like you share the gospel with them, like if it was God's plan for them to get saved, somebody's going to come along. You should be the one, but you can miss that opportunity and you're going to miss the blessing. But at the end of the day, can you miss like the plan? Like that's no. But yeah, you can definitely miss opportunities.
This is what
Because of sin, because of all number of
That's
things,
right.
you can miss
That's right.
opportunities for sure.
Because Esther 4, verse 14, Mordecai tells Esther, if you keep silent at this time, so if you do nothing, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place.
Right.
It's like, yo, God's
Because-
going to do
yes,
what God's going to
because
do.
God's
This
plan-
opportunity right here,
Yeah.
yes, you can miss this.
And he says, but you and your father's house will perish, which I love. It's like, now, if you don't do nothing, you're going to die.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
You're going to die.
Kind of leaves you
But
no other
deliverance
choice.
will come. And then he says, and who knows whether you've come to the kingdom for such a time as this.
Yes,
Which is
sir.
super cool.
Yeah.
Because God's purpose was relief and deliverance. If God's purpose is relief and deliverance, guess what his people are going to get? Relief and deliverance.
Yeah, and I would say
Period.
the for such a time as this, because people use that language as though like all of my life has led to this moment, for such a time as this right now.
And that's so.
And like that's where I would say like I would be a little skittish of
back
that,
up-
just because
back
it's
up a
like
bit.
that does lend itself to, dude, this is the one thing that I was created for.
Yeah.
One thing. I will never get another chance.
I hate
This is
that
it
thinking.
right here. And if I don't do it, I have blown it. And now again, I get to live for the next however many years of my life.
which allows a lot of folks and the Pharisees to leverage that
Yeah.
to manipulate the snot out of you.
Yeah.
Which is why it's really good to the young people listening to this to have people in your life that are older than you. Because whatever decision you're making right now feels like the biggest decision of your life.
Yeah.
And it might be
It's a big
up
decision.
until this point.
Yes.
But when you talk with someone who's 40 and it's like, oh yeah, after they pick what college you want to go to or what career,
Yes.
they've had like 6 other major
Yeah.
decisions.
Well, and
you know what I'm saying? It's
and we
good.
can tell them like, yo, like, yeah, I missed the boat on that one. But I didn't miss God's plan in my life. Yeah, but I definitely blew that opportunity. You know what I mean? I can't believe I did that. Was so stupid. But I didn't miss God's plan for my life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, you can speak that, and it encourages people to, oh, like, yo, you messed up too. Like you missed like that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that can encourage people, particularly young people, who can be paralyzed with the analysis paralysis. man.
Analysis paralysis.
You know, and that's not fun.
I like it.
You know, so
No, I had an answer.
it's sufficient.
That was great.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah. So
How many did you have?
I have 3. I have about 9.
Okay, cool.
Where did you get 3?
No,
3.
I got
I got about
3. I
9.
got 3 or 4 different people asking me questions.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
I love it.
So this is from the same person.
Yep.
So Josh, hey Josh, thanks for pulling up stuff for us, buddy. So John 6.
He's telling you
alluding. He was saying thank you for
53.
pulling it up because he was asking you
I was
to pull
about
it
to
up.
ask you to pull this up. John 6:53, and I haven't pulled it up. So Josh, would you read it for us?
Yeah, dude.
I love
Get him working.
I love in a whole chapter that's like 60 something verses
I know it.
long. You're like,
It's
hey,
cool.
no, we're gonna pull out this one verse. What does it mean?
I'm sure it's in context.
So Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you."
So why did Jesus say we have no life if we do not eat his flesh and drink his blood there?
Why did Jesus?
They need to also. This gives us a good opportunity to go back and remind everyone the last episode we did 2.5 months ago. Remember that we got that negative comment. Remember on YouTube? Remember this?
What was that? The Catholic version?
Yeah,
Like,
and
no, he did not become Peter. Okay, the seed of Peter. Shut up.
And so
What did
we
he say?
we did misspeak, and I remember who it was. We did misspeak,
did
and
we
we said
misspeak?
we said that the Pope becomes Peter.
That's what I
But
said.
then we quickly corrected it, and we're like,
See?
no, that's not what we mean, or whatever.
They believe it's Peter's seat,
Yeah,
as if there was a seat.
and so he this
That's
guy
okay.
though. Let me see.
Is he?
He blew
is
me up,
still
man.
saying stuff, or is
No,
it just,
no, this guy
This
commented
guy
one
needs
time.
to
I was just
give
like,
it a rest,
this guy
bud.
Bunch of
commented. He
Protestants.
said, quote, they believe the Pope actually becomes Peter is the most wild thing we've ever heard. And I said, dude, if you think this is the most wild thing we've ever heard, you should listen to the podcast more. I think that's so wild.
Did you comment that as the podcast?
In my head, I did.
Oh,
though.
no, you should have
I was like, if
commented
you think
that
this is
as the
wild, bro,
podcast.
you ain't heard nothing yet.
So true. That was a little
I love it.
overstatement.
Yeah, a little overstatement.
I will own that.
Sorry, Catholics.
Sorry,
We were wrong about that, but you're wrong about everything. So, I'm kidding.
but you believe there's a seat of Peter, and I'm like,
So yeah. No, I think again, like I love the whole, we're gonna pull one verse out. I think that obviously, it goes without saying, but especially in this chapter, it's really important to understand what's happening around it. And it just happened where Jesus fed 5,000
Yes.
men at the beginning.
that's right.
Then he gets on a boat, and the next day, so this is literally happening the next day. And the Bible's not always linear in the Gospels, but this one's pretty clear that it's linear. So it's literally the next day. They eat bread, he gets on a boat, cross over the sea, and then the next day the crowd comes to him. And basically, they're just wanting Jesus to be this miracle worker. They get hungry
Right.
again. And so they're just wanting Jesus to, hey, snap your fingers, bro, and do that little cool thing where you made 5 loaves, 2 fish, feed thousands. Like, do that again. And that's where Jesus uses what they want and just they want his miraculous power. They want the miracle worker, all this stuff. And Jesus uses that to shift and say, like, no, if you just follow me for a cool thing I can do,
Yeah.
then you're missing the point of following me, which is when he gets in the intense discussion of
Yep.
discipleship.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I think Jesus uses very intense language here to, and this is going to sound crazy to some people maybe, to drive people away.
Yep.
And if someone is there that's like, yeah, I don't want to take all of who Jesus is, then yeah, Jesus is okay in this moment if people walk away from this.
Yep.
And we know he's okay with it because in John 6:66, people walk away from him.
They do.
And he looks at the disciples and says, hey, people are leaving. Do y'all want to go too? And
Yeah,
they say,
we can't.
Lord, where else can we go? You have
It's
the
al-
words of eternal life.
It's almost like you are our nourishment. How
Yeah.
can we do this?
I think it's just I remember Brad laughed at me, but I remember when we went through this passage, I thought about on stage that night bringing up a Chick-fil-A sandwich
Okay.
and eating mid-sermon.
Okay.
I thought about it and I didn't decide to do it because I thought that'd be weird. But my
No, that
thought
would've been great.
my thought was in eating this
Uh-huh.
is I can't pick and choose what nutrients I want and what I don't want. Like when you consume something, you are everything that sandwich has to offer you, you are consuming that. And I think in a much realer way, that's kind of what Jesus is getting
I
at.
think so
Like,
too.
man, you can't pick and
And-
choose what parts of him you want.
And it's not only you're eating all of it, but maybe I'm overstating this, but what it does to permeate your body, to give your body what it needs as far as nutrients. I believe Jesus is teaching, when you consume me, all of me, then all of me will permeate your entire existence, which means unless you do this, you don't have life. Because there's a biological thing that happens with the food you eat, right? Breaks it down, nutrients go where it needs to go. I believe there's a metabolic thing that Jesus is saying. Hey, bro, when you eat of me, it permeates everything of you. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
eat my flesh and drink my blood. So
Yeah. That's right. Any thoughts?
I'm just gonna do what the disciples say in verse 60. This is a hard saying.
Yeah.
Who can listen to it? I ain't gonna try to act like I
That's-
know
that's
exactly
right,
what
that's right.
Jesus
Good point,
meant.
good
I'm
point.
not. I'm just gonna say this is a hard saying. Who can listen to
so
it?
you think you're in good company. I'm in
I
good company.
feel like if they said it,
They were
I'm good with what they
Well,
said.
I feel like though. I think there was confusion.
I think there's something to what you're saying. For
I think.
sure,
I think there was
but
confusion on their end what he meant, but on the other sense, I think they knew good and well what he meant.
Yeah,
in the
probably.
sense of okay, like this is full surrender. This
Yeah.
isn't. Yeah.
But ain't nobody ever said that before, so they may have not. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't like
Yeah,
people going
yeah.
around saying, "Eat my flesh, drink my blood."
It's a weird
That's
thing.
not a normal thing to say. And so it's not like they're like, "Oh yeah, like we remember when somebody said that." Nah,
it's
this
different.
is foreign. It's a foreign concept. So, yeah, I think there's definitely. I'm not saying there's
No,
nothing
no.
to what you guys are saying,
But it is
I'm
complicated.
just saying that that's a lot.
That's a
And
lot.
I don't know. I'm not going to act like because that was I think Luther had a particularly hard time with that passage because like eat my flesh, drink my blood. Like he thought it was like the sacraments, which obviously I think he's wrong. But like I'm saying, there's been difference of opinion
Sure.
throughout church history on this, and so therefore,
But
I'm
but the
gonna
fact of the matter is true.
say-
There is something true about what Jesus said.
you can't
because he
pick and
said it.
choose. You can't pick and
No,
choose.
no, no,
I
no,
agree
what I mean,
wholeheartedly with
it
what you're
does
saying.
mean something because Jesus
Yes.
said it.
Oh yeah. There's no
And what it means is actual true, whether we
Yes.
get the right interpretation or not.
Yeah.
So it is.
Yeah,
a
and I
thing.
think maybe there's something there. I don't know. Like sometimes for me, that's the thing with like sometimes like expository preaching. You'll like this. I mean, I'm sure you thought about this, but like yes, it's all God's truth. It's all God's word. But I think sometimes we can act like we know what all of it means.
That's a good point.
And I think sometimes we just need to be like, look, man, this is a hard saying. It could be this.
That's a good
You
point.
understand? Because I agree wholeheartedly. I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea. Would I take that idea and preach it like that whole idea, like you don't get to pick and choose?
Mhm.
I love that idea. I absolutely. I think that's incredible. But like, would I like necessarily be like, and this is exactly what Jesus meant?
Right.
I'd be like, I don't know if this is what Jesus, but this is really good. This is really, really
this is
good.
what it is,
And
this
this
makes
is
sense.
this, and if this is a side road that we need to stop on, and you need to get something here at this gas station, a little pit stop. Yeah, we need to pick this because this is good stuff. What you're
Yeah.
saying, but I don't know if that's.
But see, even what
exactly-
you just said there, like the disciples, they didn't understand it. See, what you just did right there was like, that's not a bad place for us not to give up on what it is.
Yeah, and I'm not
But to
trying to
say,
plead
bro,
the
I
cop
just
out.
humility. These disciples walked with him.
Tough saying, man.
And it's kind of tough to me too. So here's the thing: I totally understand.
Yeah,
why the
and maybe
disciples-
if you're preaching the text, it's like, hey, like
don't forget.
will you because where they're at, they're at a place where they're like, man, I don't know, this is a hard saying, right? This is hard, right? Like, dude, when you follow Jesus, there's going to be times when he says stuff to you that you're like, this is hard.
Yeah.
You're going to read scriptures that he's saying stuff and you're like, this is hard, right? If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. This is hard.
That's tough.
What are you going to do in that moment?
And that's what Justin said. Is I think sometimes I know he preached
Yeah.
to
To push people off. Yeah. He did.
find out who was with him.
Which
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah.
That's why I feel so. I will, and it's okay if we disagree. Like I feel confident that is like the gist of what he's getting at.
Yeah.
Now, the practical implications of that's tough, and that's
Yeah.
where it's like, oh man, this is hard, and it's hard in the sense of like there's going to be different opinions. Hence, why literally we have a lot of brothers and sisters that believe in transubstantiation, and I
Yeah.
don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I get that, but I do think because of the context of him just feeding him and them getting a snack. And
Yeah.
getting
You
full
think
day.
you think this is
I
all
think
I'm
that I
about.
think the gist is like the main. I think that is the main thing, but the details of how that practically works out, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, cool question.
Amen.
Somebody else, and then I'll come back. We'll roll right.
We'll do a fun one.
Fun.
Someone didn't ask a question. They said, "Let Steve sing Journey."
Let him.
I don't know what that is.
Who do you know this? Do you know this? Is this?
What song?
I don't know. They just said,
I
"Let
don't
Steve
know.
sing Journey."
I can't sing. He thinks I sound like Steve Perry. I do not. The Journey, Journey.
Yeah.
Band. Sing Journey.
My favorite was Kids Week this year. What did Adam? Josh, do you remember? What did Adam Weiss say to our band? Or he said to me, "Oh yeah." Adam came up to me, and there were some of our band members that were standing around there.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey man, I just want you to know." He said, "Despite what everyone else is saying this week, you're doing an awesome job singing."
That's so good,
And
dude.
some of our kids thought he was for real.
Yes.
And they like looked at him like, did he just
Can't believe he said that.
Yeah, and he was totally, and obviously I know
love
Adam.
Adam.
It's okay. So he texted me at the end. And he said my favorite vocalists ranked Michael Jackson, Alvin Summers, the guy from Creed, Steve Strickland, Justin Timberlake. Oh, the guy from Creed, mate. Number 3. Anyway, so there's not an inside joke from there.
No, I don't think so.
Well, can you give us a little ditty?
I don't, man. What's crazy is you just asked me in every Journey song. Just let
Don't
it
Stop
go.
Believing. is a
Don't
Journey
Stop
song.
Believing.
Just hit us with that chorus real quick. Just that. We'll close our eyes. We'll close our eyes.
No, I will not.
You do this in front of thousands on
I
Sundays,
know,
Steve.
but they all sing with me. So if y'all sing with me,
I bet. We'll sing with you. What are we doing?
you're gonna set me up.
What are we doing? I promise.
Hey, I didn't
promise we'll sing with you.
I didn't say nothing. I ain't singing with you.
What?
Not to get him to
I
sing.
only,
good.
I only know 2 Journey songs. Don't Stop Believing and Faithfully.
Oh, faithfully.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
That was a note. That was a
I
note.
don't know that one.
Yeah, the keyboard. Isn't that it?
Yes.
Yeah. You know that song?
Nope.
Oh, that's a famous song, bro. You and I want to do.
We play it, but we get dinged on YouTube.
I know at some point I'm gonna.
That's
At some point I'll
really
probably
good.
preach this sermon on Sunday morning. I thought about it this past week when preacher was talking about Genesis 3, but I preached it in chapel actually on Matthew 4 when Jesus is fighting temptation, and he fights using the sword of the Spirit, the Word of God. It is written, boom. And I love doing it to our students. Man, I've done it twice over the last 10 years. But one of the excuses you often hear for not memorizing the Bible is, man, I just don't have the time. I can't do that. Oh no. And if I ever did that on Sunday morning, I'm totally gonna be like, I need y'all to repeat this after me. Just a small town girl, and then hear everyone sing "Living in a Whole New World," and it's like, yeah, your memory's not the
Yeah,
problem,
no,
bro.
yeah, that's
Your
the
memory,
problem, bro.
your memory's not the problem. You just memorize a lot of other stuff. It's funny. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. We've answered this book or answered this before. Is this changed for anybody? Favorite books of the Bible?
Oh, that's a nice one somebody sent me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
one of
two
my
for
new-
one. 2 for 1
stone.
special.
One of my new 6th graders. Good job for her.
2 for 1 special.
Mine, New Testament book is Matthew. Old Testament book is Deuteronomy.
Why Matthew?
Matthew, I just love it that it grabs the Sermon on the Mount and just really is the guts of that thing, and it's pretty cool.
I like it.
And then
The
Deuteronomy,
guts of that. That's
and
very
then Deuteronomy. What I love about Deuteronomy is when you look at
It's word
Jesus's. That's right. When you look at Jesus' teaching and what Jesus draws from is the book of Deuteronomy. It's just so
Yeah.
much of Deuteronomy. It's in
That's the book he
Jesus'
quotes
teaching.
from
A
3
lot,
times.
a
When
lot.
he-
That's
Temptation of the Enemy.
Amen.
I like it. Favorite books?
I don't have. I mean, current. I can do currents.
I feel like my answer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
thanks.
do. I can't do like overall. Judges. I like Judges a
I
lot.
read Judges this morning.
I like
Let's
Judges.
go.
That's funny. Why Judges?
Why Judges? Because it's just this story of all of these individuals who are deliverers, but they they're all given to immorality and mortality.
Hey,
Um,
but Brad, remember, Jesus doesn't want anything to do with government.
Yeah, yeah, right. yeah,
So
yeah,
what big
yeah.
judges.
Well, and it's great because it's like so and so lived for they experienced peace for 40 years and then they died.
Yeah.
And then there's no peace, and it's the cycle.
It's the
you know?
cycle, man.
And it's it's pointing towards a better judge who would come, a better deliverer who would come, and it's Jesus, right?
It's good.
Um,
It's good.
Judges
Preach it.
is one of those books that like you could preach the book. You don't need to like.
Yeah.
You don't need to hunker. You just the whole thing.
So much-
survey.
Just let the
boom,
event
You
speak.
got it. You got
Let
the.
the
You
event
got
speak.
it. And the New Testament. Let's see. I haven't been in the New Testament. I mean, I'm reading First Timothy right now. That's not. I don't. It's not a favorite. Galatians has been a favorite historically. Yeah, I like Galatians.
Galatians is Europe.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
what do Judges and Galatians?
Justin, what about you, buddy?
I mean, I'm on the record for saying most of the time that's my favorite book of the Bible is whatever book I'm preaching in because it's just what I'm in.
Yep.
But to not answer it that way, man,
Because y'all doing John, or y'all done?
no, we're done. Finish John. Yeah, finish John. I'm kind of sad. Honestly, John's probably my favorite New Testament book though. It was amazing. Like I loved it so much. So I'll say John for the New Testament. Old Testament. That's hard, man. I'll say 1st and 2nd Samuel.
That's 2 books.
I love David. It's kind of one though.
It's really
Nah,
one.
pick
Two parts.
We'll do
You have to pick
first.
one.
We'll do first, Samuel.
Okay.
I love David. I love the story. I love the
Because
story of
sequels
David,
suck,
man.
right?
Yeah, that's not as I love the story of David, man. It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. Like I love the story of David. Yeah, that'd be my answer.
Amen.
At least
I
right
love
now. At least right now.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you want me to chime in? Because I actually have 2. Do you want me to do the silly one first?
Well, I did have a.
Well, no, because go ahead.
I had a little segue, but
What
it's
is yours?
kind of
No,
over
take
now.
it, take it,
Well,
take
Steve made a joke about government, and so we'll ask this one. I'm gonna pull a Steve, and I'm gonna read the passages first.
Wait a minute.
Josh, pull
You
up.
gotta like tee up the question.
Yeah, well, Romans so this is the question based on Romans 13, 1-2.
Yeah.
Here we go.
See, I knew Steve would know it. So, Josh, you there?
I had this.
So
We
let-
had this jam down our throat.
Let every person. It's not a COVID question.
I didn't say that.
COVID though.
Let every person.
I think.
Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those who that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. So based on that, and then Titus 3:1. Just I'm waiting for Josh to pull it up when he gets there. Titus 3:1. Remind them to be submissive to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, and to be ready for good work. So that's Paul telling Titus.
All right,
how to
based
pastor
on
people.
these.
Based on those verses,
Get to the
and
question.
other verses discussing submitting to government authority, was it sinful? I think that's an important word.
Are we going back to
What was it sinful for Christians to participate in the American Revolution against England?
Was it sinful for them to participate in the American Revolution?
That's a
against
really good question.
Great question.
Have we? So I want out who asked this. I love the guy who asked this. Have we talked? I told him I thought we talked about this a long time ago. Maybe we have.
American Revolution? Was it sinful?
We have. Josh says we have.
Well, you said you think
when
so?
you were scrubbing the podcast.
We've talked about this?
It was been a while though.
Legitimately.
So Romans chapter 13.
Wow.
As you continue
That's a
reading,
long,
as
a long time ago.
check this out now. As you continue reading,
Carry
therefore,
on, Steve.
whoever resists the authorities resists God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. For rulers are not a terror to good conduct,
Yes.
but to bad. Now, what he's done is he has laid the context for which rulers you should follow. And so check this out. Would you have no fear of the one who is an authority? Then do what is good,
What is good?
and you will receive his approval, for he is God's servant. So it's almost like Romans 13 is speaking of someone, because then it says government ordained and should be for good. It should reward good and punish evil. So when your government is doing evil and punishing good, it would be a good to oppose that, I would say. Does that make sense? However, all of them are established by God for a purpose. Maybe the purpose is for you to be able to say, look, like the revolution, say, look, you can't steal from us and oppress us and promote evil, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think in the.
I think that's just an opinion. So that's my.
No, yeah, it's a good question.
It is a really good question.
It's a cool question to think.
One that
And
we've answered before, apparently. I don't think we
check
did,
the rest.
Josh.
Well, then we're gonna answer it fresh for it. And this, I think it's
I
weird.
don't think we've done it.
Is like I like to
I feel like
consider
this is the first
myself.
time I've heard it.
I like to consider myself an insanely patriotic person. Like in the Olympics, like
I
bro,
am.
I don't care. It can be ping pong.
What'd you say?
I want America
like
to win.
how patriotic I am. It can be ping pong. If we're playing in the Olympics, I am
I wanna
cheering.
dominate.
I'm
See,
up. I'm
God,
I'm
dude,
gassed.
you guys have no idea how badly, and this is gonna sound terrible. I love it when America loses, bro.
Wow.
I really
What?
do.
He's a
I do.
What do you call it? He's a rage
I,
baiter.
I genuinely
This
do.
is rage
No, like for
baiting.
me,
This is
like
rage
dude,
baiting.
like Ryder Cup.
And I'm not giving in.
Ryder Cup, I am all in.
Gosh, get out of here.
All in
See,
on
I
watching US lose.
Yes,
I really am.
get out of here.
I really am.
You know why?
Mute his
You know why? Check out.
Mute
You
his
know why?
Damn.
Because he is an American.
Yes.
Because he can
I'm
take
free
for
to
granted.
do this. I'm
He's
free to do
it.
this.
He's free to
I'm free,
despise
man.
Yeah.
his.
I
I'm
think-
free.
So this
I'm
is my.
free.
I
Shout
cannot
out to
do it
America.
if you were a communist. You couldn't have this opinion.
You can't go against your people.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, I think my answer is in Romans 13, Titus. Even if I think there actually is, and famously John MacArthur. I don't want to put words in his mouth. In the late,
He's
late
dead.
great John MacArthur.
He'll have no reply.
Oh, Josh,
and he would laugh at that.
The camera doesn't have Josh.
He'd be like, "Am I though? I'm actually alive, more alive than ever before."
That's Billy
And
Graham who
watch-
said that.
Yeah, but MacArthur would quote.
But I think so not to put words in his mouth, but I think he was famously like, yeah, this was like if by the text,
Yeah.
Yes, he
this
would
is
say-
a sinful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would take his camp too of like, I'm really glad they did it.
Me too.
Like I'm thankful the Lord does all
Yes.
things and works through. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it is hard for me. Like, okay, taxation sucks.
Yeah.
It does.
The perfect tax rate is 0.
Yeah, like that sucks. Not good.
Perfect.
Is that something worth picking up arms over? Yeah, I can see Titus 3 and Romans 13, mate. I mean, let's just look at Jesus. Like Jesus said, pay your taxes.
He did.
Like he did when Jesus said that. Pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's, given to God's what is God's. And so like there is like I see the question, and I think if someone like John MacArthur said, I'm like, yeah, like I totally get
Maybe
that.
it wasn't a good idea.
And maybe it wasn't, but I'm really thankful the Lord used it, and I'm
Yeah.
really thankful for those men who were brave and bold and all those things that did it. For sure. I don't know.
Because I
kinda
don't
like
think it was, I mean, basically it wasn't the equivalent.
Would you
of-
have fought in it?
Hmm?
That's the question. See how
a
American,
great-
American you actually are, bud.
Let's
I would
go.
like to think that I would.
You're gonna cheer him on in the Olympics. You actually
Yeah.
gonna fight for him in 1770, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'd
would.
like to think that I would. But that's easy revisionist history.
It always is.
It's easy to say you would do something when you weren't there.
It's always easy.
But
Very
don't I would
always
but
easy.
here's the thing, I don't think you should use that as an excuse not to give an opinion of what you think
Yeah.
you would have done.
I definitely.
Yeah, sure.
I will. I mean, I do think it was. I think it was rebellious for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how you can be like this wasn't rebellious.
Well,
It
Jesus was a
clearly
little rebellious too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Wasn't
I think
Paul
he
a
was,
little
but
rebellious?
I think this is where it's.
Wasn't the apostles rebellious?
Well, yeah, but I think that's where you do have to hold. Jesus said, "Pay your taxes,"
Oh yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like Jesus didn't ride in to overthrow Rome in the sense that
No,
we
no.
think that. You know what I'm saying? So,
but here's the thing. But he
And then at
he
what
didn't ride
point-
in to overthrow Rome because he knew he was going to overthrow Rome.
well, yeah, but not in the way that anyone thought he
Right.
would.
In other words, it's his job to do it. It
Well,
ain't our job to
and-
think we can do
Sure,
it
of course,
despite
yeah.
him.
Well, and when they went to America, it wasn't like it was immediately. So you're talking about like the actual like war
He
itself.
said revolutionary.
Okay,
war.
because because when they went to America, this was like England still had rule and reign in the colonies. Like this wasn't like this was this new project kind of thing. Like it was, but it wasn't. Like they still ruled. But yeah, I think it's fair to say it was. I'll say sinful, sure. Because I mean, it was certainly rebellious against
Yeah.
the government, and I mean the Puritans and such fled for religious reasons, and I think the religious reasons were, I think, fairly valid. I don't know if they were necessarily like very valid. I think they were definitely fairly valid. I mean, because at that time there was a plethora of denominations that wanted freedom to worship how they wanted to worship, and the Church of England said, "No, you need to do it this way."
With pretty hefty penalty. in
Very
some ways.
death was a penalty.
And I think
a
that's.
lot.
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting, but I think my two kids, two Bible stories my kids love, and I tell them to them. I mean, it almost alternates every night. Is Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego,
Totally.
and it's like okay, and it's like okay. They were there was restrictions on who they could worship, and they said, "Cool, bro, we ain't worshiping your gods. We're worshiping one true God." And they get thrown in a furnace for it, and they get thrown in a den of lions
Yes,
for it.
yes.
And so, like, yeah, I think that's where it gets weird because if someone's like, "Well, shouldn't you fight for religious freedom?"
That's how you do it.
It's like you
How do
worship.
fight
You
for-
worship.
You worship.
Yeah, you worship.
You worship. And here's the thing. And you accept the responsibility of your right choice in the context of where you do it. In
Yeah.
other words, if you're in an evil government and you choose to worship God and do what's right, then you know what, Lord? If I'm put to death, that's fine.
Yeah.
By the government. And you know what that is? That's called submitting to the government. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, but by doing that, we have history of brothers and sisters who, by those acts, God has used to transform and conform
Absolutely.
governments into good.
Which is amazing.
Yep.
And so, yes, I think I'm. Yeah, I mean, I think I would say probably I'd put it more in the sinful category, but so thankful that they did, which is so weird. And I think testifies to the goodness of God, that God can work all things. He uses all things and does all things.
Yes.
But yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
I like that.
good question. Good
That is
Great
It is. It makes you think.
I
It
do,
really does.
I do
Great
think this is not a question, but I do think there is a legitimate reason to spend time thinking, how do we view those kind of things?
Because we might
When
have
is
to do
it time to
Well,
step up? When
there
is it time
are
to
there are
submit? When is it time?
implications.
Always. I agree.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I like it. So I hope that was my guy that asked that question. So I
A
hope
good
he
question, bud.
approves of our answer and doesn't.
Great stuff.
All right, Steve, you want to know?
So if is God the only perfect being? If so, have angels sinned? This is a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna just speaking of government. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one, and
God is
Amen.
perfect.
God is the only perfect being. I'm cool. I'm totally.
Yeah, so angels, yeah.
Angels. That's all illegitimate. And I
a
hope
weird
this
deal.
is okay that I say this, and y'all correct me if I'm being just foolish or missing something obvious. That has always been a struggle for me on how to answer that, because obviously we know angels fell
Yes.
when Satan, Lucifer, led them away. So we know, is it Luke or Revelation, a third of the angels, or is that Ezekiel? So we know that happened. So we know there was a volitional choice at some point by angels to fall away. Are angels right now in the presence of God able to do that? Like, are the rest of the 2/3 of angels, are they still able to fall? I don't
know.
I don't think so. But I don't know if that's just because they don't have free will the way we. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I'm okay with that question being like, yeah, I don't really know, man.
Whatever perfect is. Can basically, obviously, angels can rebel.
Because they did. Can they still do that?
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't.
What do you think, Brad?
I don't think about that part.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
are they
that part I
still, or
haven't
can
thought
they
about.
still, or can they still do
Because
that?
what was the first part of the question?
Basically, is God the only perfect being? Then can angels?
Yeah, I would say
sin?
yes. Like God
Can-
is a perfection that nothing else
Yes.
is. I'm totally
And so
cool with
have
saying
angels-
that. Totally cool with saying
So run the question back.
Hang on, let me go back.
If
to
God is the only perfect,
it. Is God the only?
Is
perfect
God
being?
the only
If
perfect being?
so, which have angels sinned?
have angels sinned? So I would say that's the first question's not the right question.
Right.
Is God the only perfect
Yes.
being? I would say, is God the only perfectly holy being, the
Okay.
only holy being?
Okay,
Yes. Okay.
makes sense.
And the reason why I said so, if so, have angels sinned? You do have the record of the fallen angels, but you also have, my mind goes to Isaiah 6, where the seraphim covered their eyes, right? Why? Because they could not gaze upon the holiness of God, right? And so, therefore, there is a distinction between angels in what I would say is like a level of perfection, a level of glory. How do you know that? How do you know there's a level? But
I like
glory
glory
implies,
better, yeah.
but glory brings with it perfection. I think that's fair to
Okay,
say,
okay.
right? I mean, you think about any sports. Like if someone deserves glory, like they're victorious. There's like a level of perfect. There's a level there. And how do you know that there's a level of glory in angels? Well, whenever they show up on the scene in Luke, the people are terrified.
John wants to worship one. in
Yeah,
Revelation.
yeah, they're terrified of these angels when they show up on Earth, right? And that's them showing up on Earth, right? So like, I don't know what they're like in heaven, right? But you there's mutants in Isaiah 6 where they got all these eyes and stuff. Like it's
Wow.
crazy. It's these bizarre creatures, right? So I would say that angels, there is a level of perfection and glory to them, but it doesn't even come close to the perfection and holiness and glory of God. And so therefore, the second question is not one that even needs to be asked. Does that make sense? If you get the first question right,
So
the
everything
first
else.
question being not, is God the only perfect being? Like that's not it. Is God the supremely holy, perfect? Yes. Then you don't need to say, if so, have angels sinned. Because certainly some have. We know that. It's
Right.
clear from the Bible. But then there's obviously some who have not sinned, who are still in the presence of God, who are doing God's bidding, right? Isaiah 6, Revelation. And yet they have a level of glory.
And so it's not so much the details of what did they do wrong. It's you're not as holy. And
They're
glorious
just
as
not
God.
created to be the same
glory.
as God.
And I think the big thing when you said they're not created is the I struggle with this.
Separation.
I struggle with this as a youth pastor because I've been here long enough now. They're like some camp themes. I'm like, oh, I want to run that back. And I think if I had to run any camp thing back, I think it'd probably be holy. because like it's just such a word. We reduce holiness, as R.C. Sproul quote. We reduce holiness down to moral goodness
Yep.
and perfection, which it is that. But holiness at its bare root, like the root of that word, is separate.
Yeah.
Right, like
It's
God
creature,
it's literally like
creator,
the illustration I've heard, and this is true. It's literally a different cut. It's like you have a cutting board, you cut something and you separate out. Its holiness as you are of a different cut. Like that's like the root of it. And when you just said creation, it's that is the defining separator. Is you have God create the triune God
Who is not
creator,
created.
and
Yes.
everything else is created.
Everything else is
Everything else is created.
Everything
And
else.
everything, even the angels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
But-
wild.
and it's crazy because we think that like
That's cool.
we think that
It's beautifully
God,
simple and beautifully holy. Cow.
Yeah, we think something must be wrong that
Right.
that God created these beings who aren't as perfect as he. And like
So they
that's
must
not there's
forget
nothing wrong. Like they're fulfilling his
There it is.
design. And that design is for them to be glorious but not holy as he.
Which now, speaking of the design,
It's cool.
You got another question?
so
Yes,
Oh, we're
Steve?
moving on.
This-
Okay.
Yes, Steve.
I thought we were sitting
Segue,
down.
Steve.
this listener
Segue.
was listening to Preacher Mike preach on Genesis 3.
Love
Okay.
it. Way to listen to your pastor.
You should.
And I really got to thinking about the serpent in the garden and its
Old Slewfoot.
so good. And it says there are a good bit of descriptions in the Bible about it. And I noticed that they described it as one of the most beautiful creatures that God had ever created. It also says that when it was cursed to crawl on its belly.
Yes.
It doesn't say what was taken away when
Bro,
it
they
was
think
cursed.
it. They think it.
So it could have been his wings.
I love it. This,
As
please tell
well
me,
as
please
his
tell me,
legs.
please tell me where this is going.
Yes.
A dragon.
And what do you get when you give a snake or a snake-like creature wings and legs? A dragon.
So are they asking a question? There's no question being asked.
So here's the thing. I was
That's
thinking,
awesome.
what if angels
Here we go.
and fallen angels
This is great.
look like dragons?
That was such a great. That was just like,
That was
hey,
a-
I'm going to start this as a question.
I love this.
But really, I'm asking this
Here's the
to
thing.
tell you what I think.
The person
and
who-
you should think what I
The
think.
person
That's
who
right.
did this, I love because they're great at this.
Yes.
But it's true. So what do you think, guys?
Well, I think. I just mentioned Isaiah.
Dragons are
Yeah,
sick,
look
bro.
at Isaiah
All right.
6. I'd say they look dragon-esque for sure.
Seriously.
dude.
But think about that. And what's crazy is until she posed that, I was like, I always thought legs, but why not wings? Knock the wings right off that sucker.
I think the big question is why not? Yeah, it's like why not? But was it? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's no. But I think
how glorious.
I think dragons are filthy.
So here's the thing. So
cool.
what if
Sick.
dragons with wings they're not fallen? They're wonderful. It's those wingless ones that are just kind of.
You know, it is.
Looks
It
like
is.
you
I mean, it
flittering
is
around in your
interesting.
yard.
Let's just chase some medieval tangents. I mean, it is.
Okay.
Well, it is interesting that every people
Yes.
group has legends of dragons.
By the way,
that is very interesting.
The other part of the diatribe of her comment had that in there. It's like the legends of the dragon.
Yeah, have y'all heard what I tell
And the
Courtney?
pictures.
Courtney hates it when I do this. Have y'all heard what I tell Courtney every time we drive to the mountains?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if I've said on the mic before, but every
You
time we're
have.
driving to the mountains,
Tell it
I'm gonna
again,
say it again. every time we see the mountain range appear, I look at I'm like, babe, how sick would it be if a dragon flew over that thing? That'd be
Because,
sweet.
like the
dog.
haze, the fog over.
Oh, I'm
it's
just
like,
kind of, maybe. Yeah, have y'all
And
seen? Dude, you ever have those moments where you've not thought about a movie or TV show in so long, and then someone says something that sparks like, oh, I remember that movie. We had a shout out to the Davis family, and Brad and Jen were over at our house the other week, and this came up somehow. We were talking about dragons. You ever seen the movie Reign of Fire
yes.
with Matthew McConaughey
Yes.
and
Paul Henry.
Woody? No, who's
And
it?
Woody.
It's not Woody Harrelson, or maybe no. I think he is in it. Old movie. You ever seen this? So they're building this. Is
It's awesome,
I told him
dude.
I was like, bro, have you seen this movie? I was telling him how awesome the movie was, and then I started describing it. And as I'm describing it, I'm like, this is the dumbest movie ever.
It is pretty.
But they're building the subway system in London. That's what they're doing. And as they're digging, they wake up this dormant dragon. And this dragon erupts out of London, the underground of London, torches everything, starts, laying eggs, having kids, other stuff. But there's there's a remnant that's
Christian
baby
Bale.
dragons.
Christian Bale.
But Christian Bale, that's it. But there's a remnant of people that survived. So they're fighting dragons with AKs and tanks and stuff, and it's so stupid, but it's so awesome, and I think it's sick.
Matthew McConaughey is bald headed.
Yeah.
And he looks awesome.
Yeah, dragons are sweet.
All right.
He's
Dragons
a
are
dragon
sweet.
rider.
All
I
right.
think they're so.
You
cool.
got that one on date night, Josh?
That's awesome.
Yeah, don't
Rain
watch.
of Fire.
I really want to rewatch it, but
It's not a bad movie.
in describing it, I was like,
It's-
this sounds so
but
stupid.
it actually is pretty intense.
Huh?
Sounds pretty stupid.
But
Yeah.
the picture, the image you
But
have,
the visual of it, just watching
of
it's sick.
dragons coming over. Oh man, that's
cool.
That movie has all of that in
Cool.
there.
Yeah, that's cool stuff.
Wow.
Sorry. So yeah, maybe I don't know. I'm gonna say no. That's gonna be my answer. I'm gonna say no.
What?
But why not?
After all of that, he dropped a
just-
no.
Well, no, but no.
Justin.
We're not talking about did dragons one time exist. I'm talking about what
Right,
I think they
that
still do.
what.
Oh, we're dragons once
Like
angels?
they're saying like was Satan a dragon and
Oh.
then God took his wings
Or
off.
was he a dragon-like creature
I think it's a dragon-like creature, sure.
and took the wings
Why not?
instead of taking the legs away? Maybe
Yeah,
the
I'm
wings
just gonna say no, but why not?
Why not?
That's what I'm saying no,
Oh.
but yeah, that's my answer.
Good question, by the way.
That was-
And her sister gave the other good question, by the way. It's awesome.
Smart family.
That is a smart family.
Thoughtful family.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying, so I'm pulling up Genesis 30. Because you've done this, curse you above all livestock and above all the beasts of the field. On your belly you shall go, and the dust you shall eat all the days of your life. Am I missing where it says he's taken away anything? Or is it
That's a
just,
good
or
point.
is
On
she,
his belly
is
you
she
shall go.
inferring that the
I
legs?
guess I guess you're inferring it.
Well, because
Yeah.
he didn't start on his belly, is what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Who knows?
yeah. No, why not? But yeah, I'm gonna say no, but be cool.
That's so disappointing.
Sorry.
What's disappointing? That
Justin's
Justin doesn't
response.
agree, even though he just had this
No, I think dragons are sweet.
Even though he
Hey,
has this
that-
love affair with dragons,
I
do.
think dragons are awesome.
still doesn't.
Okay, you ready for a fun one?
how to train one.
It's a great one. Great one. Shout out to the new
do
preschool
you
director,
train one?
Madison. Murphy. This is a
Madison.
great question.
All right.
How many chuggas are
It's
there
12.
before choo choo?
The answer's 12.
Are you for real?
Yeah, it's 12. Yeah, dude. Duh.
Have we
I did
talked
this
about
the other
this?
day. No, I did this
Two.
the other day.
Yes,
There's two.
I'm with you.
There's two.
You're
12.
you have no idea. I was so made fun of by my
What?
wife and by her for putting that many.
It's
And
12.
it's 12.
It's not
It's
12.
chugga,
it's two.
chugga, 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 choo.
Yes, I am with you.
What are y'all
Dude,
referring
we didn't
to?
plan
It's
this.
12, dude.
Clip this for the
I
Instagram reel.
always thought it was two.
Hey, we
Chugga,
might-
chugga,
well-
choo-choo is what I was thinking, but it's
But it's got
If you're
build
actually
up.
doing it,
Chugga,
if you're
chugga,
actually
choo,
doing
chugga, chugga, choo. It's got to build up.
chugga,
Yeah,
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Who are you? What reference are y'all using?
We might be doing Batman.
this is
Think
amazing.
about Batman. We might be putting the two together.
The wires are getting crossed in my brain.
That could be what's happening. I don't really know.
You have no idea. You have no idea how happy that makes me. That makes me. We did not plan
Great
this.
minds think alike.
That's
Listen,
Batman.
we might adamantly
Batman.
disagree on Home Alone, but we're with each other
Yeah,
on that.
I love
That is amazing.
It's
12.
Madison, your question has brought them together.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
We're united.
So it's 12 chuggas.
12 chuggas.
Chugga,
Whole
chugga,
lot of
chugga,
chugging.
chugga,
I say we
chugga,
get to the
chugga,
choo-choo
chugga,
quicker.
chugga,
Choo,
chugga,
chugga, chugga,
choo,
choo-choo. Let's go. Chugga, chugga, choo-choo. Let's go.
But then you have to do that over and over again. Like the train is building up.
Chugga, chugga, choo-choo. Chugga, chugga.
That sounds ridiculous, bro.
Use AI to make like a beat of that or something.
That sounds like something.
That's awesome. That's so great. I love that. Man, that makes me so happy. I can't wait to send her that clip.
You're
That's
welcome.
great.
I haven't even talked to her about this.
We've not talked about it either. That
Yeah,
was
I haven't talked to
unplanned.
her.
I wonder what she thinks it is. She probably thinks it's 12.
What does she think? It is?
I'll
probably
text
thinks it's
her.
12.
I'll text her. We'll see.
She probably thinks it's 12. It wouldn't surprise
What
me.
do they think? Well,
That's
they made
it.
fun of him for thinking
But
12.
where is
but it
this?
can't
Where's
be
the
12.
reference of the
Right
chugga,
there.
chugga, 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 chugga?
I love the Batman idea. That's hilarious.
I think it could be. That's why I think it's that. I think they come together. I think they come together, dude. I mean, it could be.
Oh, that's great.
Could be that.
That's so good.
It could be.
man.
Splat.
All right, Steve, get another one.
Oh, okay, sorry. I don't have a chugga chugga.
Gosh, that's hilarious. That Batman is great.
That is good.
I love that. While you're asking your question, I'm running.
Yes. You going to the bathroom?
Can you go to the bathroom for me?
That made me laugh. Anybody need any water?
I'm
Dude,
good,
I
man.
want one of these. Are you accelerated?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Are you
It's-
accelerated?
It's not quick. It's like a slow, good thing.
So accelerator is probably a.
It's like coffee,
Oh,
I think. I usually
does it
don't-
taste good at least?
Yeah, it's delicious.
Is it?
Yeah. Go ahead and hit pause, Josh. Go ahead and hit pause.
We're going?
Serpents.
We're
We're
going?
on. Are we on? Speaking of serpents.
Speak of them.
and dating.
I love it.
So here it is. When it comes to, this is a dating question for teens.
Serpents and dating.
No.
That's good.
This person said, I would like to hear you guys talk about teen dating, not young adults. Sorry, Brad, but you can speak to teens.
I will.
Because it's a hot topic between this person and their friends. We'd all love to hear your opinion on whether we should or shouldn't, and at what point we should or can.
They don't want my opinion.
No, they do.
Yeah. Real quick before we get serious again, Courtney said that her and Rocky both say chugga, 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 choo choo. Four chuggas.
Four chuggas. Chugga, 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 choo choo. That makes sense too.
Yeah, that four.
I think we do it because of Batman. I can't get that out of my mind now. I think that's the only reason.
I just love when we did it and we counted 12. So okay,
Teens
can you
and
read
dating.
it? So basically, should you and when should you?
Or, yeah, basically would love to hear our opinions on it.
Yeah, I mean,
Should we
this
or
is-
shouldn't we?
This is great because no one's sitting in front of me, so I can just be as blunt.
Yeah.
And I don't even know who asked the question.
Because you're going to
You
do
mean
what
as mean?
Because you're going to do
You
what you
mean as
want to
mean
anyway.
as you want to be.
Sure.
You're going to do what you want to anyway.
I mean, I've started more actively telling people not to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just straight up, I just don't do it. I'm starting, which I know is
Teens.
teens.
We're not talking about young adults. We're not talking about
teenagers.
people who can actually, get married.
Yeah,
We're talking about middle school.
yeah.
Teens
Ninth
can get
graders.
married.
Sure that
Yeah.
they can. You're right. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's go down that rabbit hole.
No, I don't know which direction. I just think no. And it's not just this. This is a piece of it. It's not just this. It's probably a little scar tissue for me as a youth pastor.
Okay.
So I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I cannot count the amount of relationships I've seen. Can't count them that lasted for 3 months, 9 months, 2 years, whatever. Right? I literally can't count them. To know that I can't count how many relationships we've seen, but also I can count on one hand how many we've seen actually date through high school and then go on and get married. I can count those on one hand, right? And I did it the other day to someone. I think the number was 4. I compared that with, I don't know. I mean, literally,
Hundreds.
probably hundreds, honestly, which is crazy. So that's not just it. That is part of it, though, and I think it's okay to say that. That is part of it, because I think for all those hundreds, I'm not going to say 100% of them, but most of them, when you're in high school, and this is hand up coming from someone who did this in high school and who thought this in high school, is we are so prisoner of the moment that we think this person is going to be the one. We can't even imagine a life. That's the person we're going to marry, because we use. I think this is. I'd love to get y'all's opinion on this. I think sometimes if we're not careful, we have led people to think it's okay if you date as long as you're dating to marry. What the crap does a 14-year-old know about dating to marry?
That's right. Sure.
You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
very good
But
question.
I've heard freshmen say that about, I'm not dating anyone just dating. I'm dating to marry. I'm like, what? You don't know what we talking about, And I'm not hating on them for saying that. It's probably too blunt. But I don't know, man. I think the Lord still has so much maturing on you to do as a high schooler, as a teenager. Doesn't mean he doesn't for me as a 31-year-old, because he does. But I think it's such a formidable time where you're finding out really who you are and who God's created you to be and who God's called you. I think it just does. I don't know. I just think I'm more and more of, yeah, man, just wait. Now I would say the exception, because I don't think you have to make I don't make a absolutely never rule. I personally don't do that.
Still.
What I encourage students to do is, if there is someone that you think that you're interested in dating, it's like, bro, and this is so lame, and it just is. Do a ton of group stuff with friends, and intentionally be with that person, and and have fun with them, and sit beside them at dinner and go with them. Do a lot of group stuff, and if it feels completely unforced at all, then with your parents' blessing, then why not start dating? Start dating in that sense. But start dating in that sense of. I honestly, man, I tell guys all the time, the biggest regret I have in high school is that in dating relationships, I did not set up guardrails in my dating relationships at all, nothing. And I love Preacher said this past Sunday, man, if you wait to the valley of decision to make, lead
us not
he
into
said it in a way
temptation
funnier
while
way,
you're
you know what I mean?
While you're sitting in the
And
car in
so,
the dark.
if you're gonna date, then set up extraordinarily high guardrails, and some people can say, well, that's legalism. I think it's wisdom. And so set up extraordinary high guardrails and stuff and do it. But I would say for 99% of people, I'm like, yeah, you probably shouldn't date in high school. Just enjoy being a teenager, enjoy those moments with your friends and do it. But yeah, I just think you have so much more maturing to do than you realize, and so does whoever
And I
you're
would
thinking about
speak to parents. I would speak to parents
Talk to
and
the parents,
grandparents.
Steve. Talk to them.
Grandparents too, granddaddies and grandmamas. When you look at your 13-year-old and the first question you say, do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend? What you do is you actually, from the wiser group,
Okay, come on.
you create a picture that if you
Yeah.
don't have a
That's
boyfriend or
good.
girlfriend, you're weird. Stop that, parents and grandparents.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Talk to 'em,
Because what
Steve.
you do is you make them think, well, every time I see grandpa, he's asking me if I got a girlfriend.
I don't
Because
want
we
to
don't-
disappoint Grandpa.
Because I don't want to disappoint grandpa. Because grandpa, shut up. I love you, but stop. Seriously, just go, brother, how you doing, man? How's your friends? You got any good friends? Talk
Yeah.
about that. Seriously. And I know I might offend somebody that's watching this, but if your first
I'm
question to your nephew or your grandson or to your son is, hey, just got back from the first day of school. You got any girls you're interested in? Stop.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're painting a picture that's what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
which means if you're not doing it, you're weird.
Well, and the answer
To
though
your dad.
probably is yes, they do.
What?
Like the kids probably actually
Probably do.
Like I don't know a teenage boy
Yeah.
that if asked that question's like, nah. I think
You
every
lie,
teenage boy's
bro.
like, actually, bro, they got this girl in
That
first
girl,
period,
first
this girl in
period,
second
second
period,
period,
this girl
second-
after school. She didn't go to my school, but I see her at Starbucks. I got
She's
this girl.
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
they
Which-
got girls.
Which,
they're
which,
interested.
and this
which
is what I
I
think
would
is
say-
They
important
got
too.
them. They interested
And
in it.
I think it's
Yeah,
important
yeah.
to say too is the fact that you want a boyfriend or girlfriend
Praise the
is
Lord.
not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Like
it's not a bad
it's
thing.
not
at all.
a bad thing. We're talking about Genesis 1
Which
through 3.
means
like,
it's a season of
Yeah,
preparation.
but Justin, how do you not know that it's for such a time as this?
yeah, maybe they're
That
the one
this
exception.
person came into their life
Yeah.
sophomore year for such a time. How do you not know, Justin? Please answer.
Huh?
How do you not know?
I would say that you have plenty of years to catch up on God's plan for that. You know what I'm saying? You got,
because here's the thing. I think we overlook the beauty of there is a moment when it goes from nah to I don't want to talk about it to yeah. And what's happening is that's the season of okay, you don't practice on a human being. You prepare for that, which
Yeah.
means okay, I'm starting to really see this, boys or girls in a different way.
Yeah.
What's going on? As opposed to say, well, let me just practice and see what happens.
yeah.
That's not what a person is for.
Yeah. I just think, the more I think about it, the more I adamantly just tell people, I'm like, man, I just really don't think you should. And it's not I don't even feel like it's an anti-dating thing, which
No.
it may sound like that, but I don't know. I mean, I will say one area where
Because you'll
I'm-
either marry them or you will break up. Very likely you're going to break up.
very
So
likely you will.
Well, but that's going to happen anyway, Steve.
True. That's right. But
Yeah.
you need to know that.
Well, yeah, but if they know that,
Okay.
If they know that, then here's what and there's a
listen.
because if you know that,
If they know that-
then fashion your relationship in a way
Yeah.
that can be God honoring in the
Yeah.
breakup or the marriage.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and that's what, and this is a,
No
a
regrets.
high schooler,
Have no
a high
regrets.
schooler that
if you're
didn't do
at
that.
if you're go ahead, good.
That's what high schoolers are terrible at, and that's what I was terrible at when I
Yeah.
was in high school. So, like, hand up, is we don't date in a way that then allows us when that breakup comes, then we're in recoil.
That's exactly right.
And we don't know what to do.
That's right.
So then we got to find another girlfriend. We got to find another boyfriend, and you have the baggage that came from that other relationship. That's when it's like, bro, this as so many of us do it in an unhealthy way, and that's where like maybe the healthiest way is to wait.
Just to wait.
So
the way.
you just make the rule.
Huh?
I'm
Why not?
clearly playing devil's advocate.
Everybody has a
Make the rule.
Yeah, so you clearly that's just
No, no,
like,
I
that's the way to do
said
it.
I think for 99% of couples, yeah, don't date. But now have I seen now, and this is where I'd be a liar if I said I hadn't seen it done well. Have I seen couples do it well? Yeah, I really have.
Well, and what's
I really
what's so bad if you break up?
I don't think it is bad if you do it in a way where you can break up and it's like, and of course it's going to be awkward a little bit,
Yeah.
but when you give yourself, because this is what I think we mess up too sometimes, is we always preach like the physical stuff, you know what I'm saying? And we're like, oh, can't sleep together, can't do all this stuff. It's like, sure, you should not do that.
Yeah.
But bro, we got some students that they are so emotionally wrapped up with one another
Oh yeah.
that you might never slept together physically, but then you break up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like, man, the person you've been confiding with for
Mm-hmm.
everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I would say is like, yeah, it's okay to break up because you're going to learn some things, and it's
Yes.
good. The Lord teach you through all that. But don't date in a way that when that breakup happens, you feel like you lose a part of you.
Yeah.
Because the only two that are supposed to come one is you and your spouse.
So I'm,
I love the
we're having fun here. We're talking,
Let's do
right?
this.
Listen,
Let's do this.
I am not going to give thoughts. I'm just going to say that I think my opinion has changed on this kind of radically over the years.
Come on.
I used to be a don't date till you're ready to get married, and then I thought about it, and like recently, like there was this guy I was meeting with. I was like, bro, like date, man. Like you should just do it. Like you need to. Like it's gonna help you. Because I know an example of a guy who hasn't dated a girl in years, 20-something, 28 years old, something like that. Starts dating somebody, bro. This guy
ain't got no game.
Well, thought he had game. My man looked like a buffoon, and by that, what I mean is he laid it on so thick because he hadn't dated somebody in so long that it was like, bro, you've been out of the game for so long that you think this is the best way to approach it. And so obviously I'm thinking that's a young adult.
Yeah.
But I would even say, like, man, like if you can, because the reality is you are either going to break up or you're going to get married. And if you can sober-mindedly accept that and accept that, okay, like there should be some boundaries that we establish, clearly physical, but then, yes, emotional, spiritual. There's boundaries that we need to establish. I think if you can do that, then like, and even if you break up, because we act like dating is the enemy. I think that's fair to say. I think we do act like that.
You're right.
I think us as pastors, we err on the side of dating is bad.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Right. And I would say like, we shouldn't do that. And I would say that we err on the side of like breaking up is bad. And it's like, nah, bro, like breaking up's fine. Like it's okay to break up. And honestly, like that's going to mature you. It should mature you.
That's a good point.
But yeah, like, and so I don't know. I mean,
if you let it mature.
if you
let it mature.
I say this, like if you're, it sounds cold, but I don't think it's cold really. Like if you're okay with possibly getting your heart broken, if you're okay with having emotional ties to a person that are going to be hard for you to overcome if you do break up, if you're okay with having to fight temptation like crazy, if you're okay with that, and if you're like, then date.
You're laying it on thick.
But if you're not okay,
if you're okay with
because
a hot poker in the eye,
yeah,
because
the other side is okay. If you're, because we do the, I think we do two. We don't talk about what I just talked about. We talk about, are you ready to get married? No, well then don't date. But I would say like that's one thing. That's one thing. But then it also should be like, are you okay with like possibly getting your heart broken if you break up? Are you okay with are you okay with your friend group possibly being divided if you guys break up? Are you okay with all this? And if the answer to that is yes,
wow, that's a good point.
Then date.
Which is crazy because there's a way to prepare for that.
Yeah.
Because think about this: how many people in church groups?
Yeah.
They are dating and then they stop dating, and all of a sudden they're ready to stop going to church again.
Well, and I think,
are you ready to stay? I'm going to show back up next week, bro.
It's good for us as pastors because shepherds are protectors.
Yeah.
And we should protect the sheep, right? But I do think a lot of the advice we give is solely on this protective front, when in reality, like there's certain things that you can't protect people from. Like not fully, you can't. Right? Like, I mean, think about your own life, your own testimony. There were certain things your parents could not protect you from, regardless of how good they tried and how hard they tried. There's certain things you could not be protected from. And so it shouldn't be so much like I'm trying to keep you from this. I want to tell you about the dangers of this. And if you so choose, because you are free, you can do what you want. And if you are able to assess this, which there's a level of maturity, and I would say that most teenagers are not mature enough, but I do think there's some. I know some, like even in the high school ministry. I don't know. I mean, middle school is probably a little too young. But I don't know. I was just probably a little too young. But like if you I do know some that their mindset is like, okay, like I am fully aware that if this doesn't end well, like if this ends in a breakup, like I'm gonna have like emotional stuff that I gotta work through. I got and like they're okay with that. And honestly, I would say like, okay, that might even be good for you to have some of that stuff that you can work through. Because I mean, I don't know. I just say that my mindset has changed slightly a little bit over that.
And I think I would answer it if the question was for college students. I'd answer it completely different. Like if you're 21 years old and you have a desire to get married and you ain't never been on a date, I'm like, do you need to ask a girl out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You need to know what it looks like
so
to ask a girl
Yeah,
out.
so it's like very so I'm answering this purely thinking of high
Well-
schoolers, and again, that's why I can't in good
Well, and I would
conscience
say you get a head
never.
start in high school. That's what I would
Yeah.
say.
Well, I would. You said something.
If you're wise enough.
That's what I would say.
And most are not
Legitimately, that's
wise.
what I would say.
And if
Legitimately,
you're
that's
wise
what I would
enough, and from my experience for 10 years,
Most are not.
Most are not.
Fact.
Well, let's
I
think about
agree.
this.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Let's think about this. So we think about friend groups. You said this as far as learning how to interact with, as a guy, how to interact with a girl, or a girl how to interact with a guy. If we saw our relationships in friend groups, girls and guys mixed, as an opportunity to learn how to relate to each other, then there's a way in a non-dating friendship group
You can get
to
some of
learn
that
the stuff.
stuff. You can
Like,
get
in other
some.
words, a sister in the Lord look at a brother who's being a little rough, and it's like, hey, I'm a girl. Or a guy will be like, hey, bro, don't do that. Or, hey, you're making them uncomfortable, stop.
Yeah.
Or, hey, that made me uncomfortable, stop. We're brothers and sisters. We're not a bit, you know what I mean? There's no heart connection there. There's a friendship. What Scripture says,
Yeah.
how do you treat them? Brothers and sisters.
That's right.
And so brothers and sisters want to help each other learn.
Yep.
And so if you created in your group a brother and sister bond, it could lead to you being a really good spouse because you know what a girl is, you know what they're for, you know how to nurture them, how to care for them, how to treat them differently, and as opposed to having to learn it on a one-on-one dating relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I can see, Brad, I totally see your point. I can see the point in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just hard too because the students we have are so. It's a weird word, but like culturally conditioned to have expectations of what
That's right.
dating is,
That's
you know,
right.
and like I mean, this happens fairly regularly. You know, a student will ask me like, bro, I got a girlfriend, a boyfriend. What's the line? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the line? And I just look at him. I'm like, bro, you probably not gonna like this answer, but I wish the only girl I ever kissed was my wife. Like I cannot tell you how much I wish that Courtney was the only. I cannot tell you how much I would give for that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you want to know what the line is? I'm like, bro, I wouldn't kiss your girlfriend.
Yeah. Let me
And
tell
they
you,
look at me like some have looked at me like, are you for
serious?
real?
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
just-
crazy.
man,
Like
I
I'm
just-
you know.
I just did a wedding
Yeah.
and I did not know this.
Mm-hmm.
And as they kissed, there's still a whole lot more wedding left,
Mm-hmm.
which was awesome, by the way. But she looked at me and she goes, "That's the first time we've kissed."
That's crazy.
And
man.
I was like, and literally, I'm sitting here going,
Yeah.
I want to announce that, but I can't announce that. I'm just going to hold. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's amazing. And he was great. He was like, I aimed a little high. I'll fix that next time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, I was like, I love that.
Yeah, and that's where like the world looks at that as like, bro, that's weird and that's
I
dated,
know.
and I'm like, and some Christians
And
like
it's
that's
okay.
weird.
It's
That's cool.
okay.
That's cool, bro. I'm just telling you, like as a married man, like what I wish is that my
Yeah.
wife was the first one. I
And it
kissed.
doesn't mean that because you kissed somebody else, you sinned while you were kissing somebody
Yeah, I
else.
didn't miss God's plan.
Unless you sinned while you were kissing.
Sure.
Because there's
Yeah.
a way. But, yeah,
Sure.
so-
Yeah. That's what I would say is if you can date with wisdom, then yeah, I think it's okay. Just as a youth
Yes.
pastor's experienced over and over again. I'm just tired now to keep going back. I'm
Let's
just,
get back in it.
Well,
Well, just it breaks.
what's
Well,
the
no,
big deal?
it breaks
People-
my it breaks my heart.
people
that-
are talking
that
about it, man.
every
This is a
that
big deal.
every month I feel like I have a conversation with a student who is spiraling is not a bad word to
Yeah.
use. Spiraling because they broke up with their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe the problem wasn't that they dated. The problem was that they dated unwisely. Right.
Or they
Dating's
created-
not the enemy.
Or they created
And-
an idol.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
And it took that spot.
Yeah,
It's
and
okay.
I just
It's pretty
I just,
good when God reveals your idols to you. It
Yeah.
really is a good thing.
And so yeah, and again, I think that's what's cool about being plugged into the church and having
yeah,
leaders
yeah.
in your life. Because yeah, if you're a young adult listening to this, like you should probably not listen to a word I'm saying right now. You should take advice from someone who's like, yeah, let me speak to a 21, 23-year-old in this stage of life you're in, because that is very different than a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
It's very, very different. And so yeah, that's important.
There's so
I told a couple of this the other night. We were talking about in marriage counseling, premarital counseling, and we were talking about Bible studies and dating relationships. And I said, you know what? I see what you should probably do. This would be especially true for young adults. Like I was like, yeah, I would think so. It's like you want to do a Bible study with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Why don't, instead of doing a Bible study with them, for your girl, you find a lady in the church that's been married for 10 plus years. Do a Bible study with her. Guy, you find a guy in a husband in church for 10 plus years. Do a Bible study with him. And instead of doing one together, get a married man in your life, a married woman in your life. Do a Bible study with them and let them. I'm like, I think that might be better for you than doing a Bible study one-on-one.
I agree.
I think so. Because I think you're right about emotional and spiritual. Like, if you're not careful, you get so close spiritually and
Yeah.
other stuff follows.
Well, speaking of dating, and
Yeah.
last question I've got.
Okay.
Love it.
Speaking of dating
Yes.
and wonderful or sad relationships, if you could know the exact day you'll die,
What a question.
would you want to know it?
No, I wouldn't want to know it.
I'm not a sicko. I don't want to know that.
Would you wouldn't want to know it?
No.
I wouldn't want to know it either.
Yeah, me either.
Do you want to know it, Josh?
Yeah, you do. Josh wants.
It's like in How I Met Your Mother when Marshall puts the slap clock. Are y'all How I Met Your Mother friends? Anybody? Never mind.
Don't do that, man.
Well, no, so there's a great they make what's called a slap bet. You ever heard of a slap bet? You know what that is?
Nope.
So basically, if you're wrong, the other person gets to slap the ever living crap out
I
of
think
someone.
I love this bet.
And, it's amazing, and How Much Mother's so good at it because basically Barney gets to pick between, I forgot the number, but basically it's like a slap bet and you know it's coming, or 5. I forgot what 10 slaps immediately, or 5, but you have no idea when they're coming. And he chooses 5, and so he has to live in the fear of Marshall might slap him at any moment. And Marshall uses one of his slap bets to, like, he puts a clock on Barney's computer, sends an email, and there's a countdown to the slap, and so Barney knows it's coming, and it's funny. Yeah, it's pretty good. No, I wouldn't want to know.
No, I wouldn't.
I would want to know you.
What kind of psycho would want to know that? That's
Yeah,
great.
You're a
Good
sick
question.
person if you want to know that kind of information.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
You should live every day like you're. I'm just kidding. Tim McGraw taught me that.
You would go skydiving.
Rocky Mountain climbing.
God,
no.
dude.
I want to.
Yeah, have you asked your question yet? You have a
I have
question?
not.
Oh, ask your question. I got 2 more. I got one more serious.
I have a serious one and then a fantasy football question.
Okay, that leads into my last one. So.
Fantasy
I had a
football's
feeling there was
screwing
going
up
to be some
sports.
sort of football or
Fantasy
something.
We have
sports
to.
is screwing up
It is
sports.
August. We got to bring back our
Fantasy
so-
sports is screwing up sports.
Save that thought for this.
Yeah, save that for this. This one is not typed out. The guy's been hounding me.
Let's go.
It
Persistent
is
growth.
Ephesians. One. Yeah, Ephesians 1. It's
Matt, real quick. Madison Ledford says she does 6 chuggas.
She's completely wrong.
That's what?
There's no rhythm.
There's no rhythm.
Chugga, choo.
It's got to be it's got to be like
It's
4.
not.
It's on a 4 count. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like doing a bridge that's got like 2 parts and you only do half the second part. It's like,
Yeah, no, that's
That's bizarre.
That's
Ephesians
talk about
1.
psychotic.
Tell her that's bizarre. So it's Ephesians 1. It's a predestination question, and I'm trying to
We've
remember
never talked
exactly.
about that before.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry for the sarcasm. Everyone else though.
His
I'm so snarky. I apologize.
his
That
I
was-
love
question-
it. I love it. I kind of like it.
I'm trying to remember
Little
exactly how he
feisty over
frames it. He says, this is exactly what he says. He leads it with this: I don't believe in predestination. What do I
I was
do?
gonna say, but
What do I do with Ephesians 1 when Paul says that God predestined us for adoption to himself as sons through Christ?
I would say you
According
need
to
to
the
start
purposes.
believing in God's predestination.
Yeah.
So
Right?
it's pretty simple. It's like as soon as you read that, you
Yeah.
should have said, I might not understand what it is, but it is something.
Yeah.
So therefore, I
Yep.
Yes.
can't say I don't believe in predestination.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
he says, because I'm not a Calvinist, so how do I
it's like I can't just throw that word out. What do I do?
do that?
Yeah.
Which I would say it's a shame that Calvinism and predestination.
I would say Calvin
It's
was a
shame,
Paulinian.
but it's a shame that those two have become so closely
I
intertwined
know.
that it's as though you can't believe in predestination because you don't want to be a Calvinist. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but do you want to believe what Paul wrote? That's the
Yeah.
question. Because I believe Calvin believed what Paul wrote.
Yeah. But does that make sense what I'm saying? It's a shame that it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
what I mean.
somehow,
It's a
some
shame.
way, it's become such a tainted thing where it's like, well, the Bible says that, and so you need to deal with it.
Yeah.
So his question, I don't believe in. I would say, I guess this is what he would say, because he's not like he wouldn't frame the question like the way in which I think we could get the best response. But I think this is the way that we get the best response. I don't believe in predestination in a Calvinistic sense.
Yeah.
But Paul says that God predestined us. So what do I do with that?
Yeah, I think because I'm not a self-proclaimed Calvinist either. So I think how I make sense of it is, okay, divine sovereignty, human responsibility, those two things working together, that there was a moment where I responded to the calling and the prompting of the Holy Spirit, that God the Father, because of the work he did through his Son and by the drawing and prompting of his Spirit, made me aware of my need for salvation, right? My need for him. And I responded to that. In that moment, God predestined me that I'd be adopted. God predestined me that he was going to complete the work that he began in me. Like the Lord had predestined that when I responded, I was going to be all those things.
So the
Does
predestination
that make
was
sense?
contingent upon the response, is what you
Yeah,
said.
like God
Which is
knew,
different than
and
the Calvinistic.
yes,
So that's what you're
yeah. So God in his foreknowledge knew Justin Kinley would respond to the gospel. And in his foreknowledge and knowing that, he predestined in me that I would be saved, that I would be adopted, that I would be justified, that I'd be glorified, that I would be all of those things, you know? And so I think that's how, at least in my framework, because I don't believe in what he's talking about of, you know, and divine, you know, before anything, God said, all right, you know, Justin, heaven, this person, hell, heaven, hell. I don't think that's how divine sovereignty and human responsibility work. So in his foreknowledge, he knew that I would, and in knowing that I would, he predestined me to be conformed into the image of his Son, to be adopted and glorified. Does that make sense? And y'all might disagree, but that's...
the predestinating is contingent upon the foreknowledge,
Yeah.
Right.
or upon the response.
And I'm thankful that he predestined me to do that, because I've done some stupid things since I've begun to follow Jesus. Yeah. But he predestined in me that he would not leave me alone. He predestined he would not leave me. He predestined that he who began a good work in me would be faithful and just to complete it. Philippians 1. So I'm thankful for that, because he predetermined that for me, which is awesome.
So yeah, so the predetermined word probably also for the guy who asked the questions about predestination would be a problem. So God predetermines.
Yeah.
That it because you said that.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I would. We're going through Romans.
Mm-hmm.
We're going Romans 9, 10, and 11.
Yeah.
And
Famous predestination passage.
because that's a whole section where it says it's God is so involved in doing what he's doing that there is a degree of these people are for this purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, unless I'm mistaken, you can't get away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I would say that actually leans into what some people are afraid of with predestination, that God actually molds people for their destruction,
Specifically talks
for
about
the
Pharaoh.
purpose, exactly, for the purpose of glorifying God's plan. And so this is where I would say, and I'm saying this with reverence because I have to be careful. I can say this with such conviction that it sounds like I don't care. If God has determined that he's created people for hell, who are we? Because Paul even says this, who are you to say that he can't do that?
Yeah.
I think we have scriptures that says there's a question that's probably rolling around in the churches just like this. Is God creating people for his wrath? And Paul's like, if he does, who are you, oh Clay, to say he can't?
Yeah.
And I'm really mindful of that.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm cool with that. I mean, it's one of those things, you know, the old rapture joke of like people that don't believe in the rapture, and the guys that do would be like, "Hey, that's fine. I'll just, tell them they're wrong on our way up in there." You know what I'm saying? It's like this has always been one of those things for me of like, what did Spurgeon said between divine sovereignty and human responsibility. He's like, I never had to reconcile friends.
That's exactly right.
And like,
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I think for me, it's like if I'm wrong on did God determine that I would be saved versus not, cool.
Yeah.
Like if we get to glory and I was wrong on that, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But the thing you have to guard yourself against,
Yeah.
because Scripture teaches to guard yourself against it, is to think that you came up with the idea to follow Jesus.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's where it goes logically. It's
Right.
like I was so smart that I decided, okay, Jesus, I'm going to pick you for my team.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the right one right.
Yeah.
Right.
When Scripture teaches that even that was a gift.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where I think I like going back to like my testimony, how I think you have to be careful in how you word it and how you process it is like, no, like the Holy Spirit opened my eyes.
That's
and like
so
he
wonderful.
did. Like he revealed himself, which is wonderful to me. Like I thought I was good. Like I thought I was church kid. I thought I was like, oh, yeah, I'm good. And I mean, I've shared my testimony before, like, for the Lord so strongly spoke to me. It's like, yeah, you know a lot about me, but you don't know me. And he opened my eyes. And it's like, yeah, the Lord did that. The Lord did that. And by his grace, I responded. And I think that's where those two things.
But I would also say that one of the things that's really cool is, but don't, you responded.
Yeah.
You were responsible to respond, which is glorious.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I do love this question. I remember a guy at East Campus one time. I remember this because obviously predestination is such a buzzword, and election is such a buzzword. And I remember he preached here one time, and we got to that word, and he had to circle it. And then you had got the word election circle. He's like, okay, these words are there. So you can't just say, well, they're wrong. I don't believe in predestination. Well, you should, because it's there. So, but talking through okay, what is actually meant by that's it's an important thing to do.
Yeah.
So
and why do we have such a problem with that? I think, genuinely, I think the reason why we have such a problem with those two words is because it takes any sort of control out of our hands and puts it on God. And we don't it is the epitome of you are a creature and he's the creator. Mm-hmm. The fact that he predestines, the fact that he elects. Yeah. The fact that you respond, but you would not respond if he did not elect. There's the effective calling. There's the general call of salvation that's made to anyone and everyone who hears the gospel. But then there's the effective call where the Holy Spirit actually comes to you personally and says, no, he's talking specifically about you. Mm. And it woos you. He woos you into this relationship. And there's something about that because to me it's like, because you guys got to understand, I wasn't, I was the kid that brought weed to church camp and was trying to hook up with girls at youth camp. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't involved. I could care less. I'm we're just trying to have fun. Right. So I didn't get saved till 20 years old. That's when I start getting into the word. And for me, I don't have this context of people not liking these words, predestination and election. I don't have that for me. I'm listen, I remember sharing that with somebody when I was a student in Bible college, and the dude getting violently mad at me. And I was like, bro, what are you mad at? What is going on? I had literally no idea that this was something that people, I had no clue, right? But I do think the reason why, genuinely, is because, dude, it takes it all out of our hands. Because if he does, and specifically in the case of in Jacob and Esau, Romans 9, before either of them had done anything good or bad,
that's so true.
He elected. Before any of them had done anything, he didn't see anything in anyone. He didn't, look through history and say, okay, I see that you're going to do this, and so therefore, it wasn't contingent upon anything. And when we see that, I think that's what bothers people, is that it's so wait, you mean he's the creator, and that you are simply a created being? Yes, that's what that means. Yeah. And I think that we just don't like that idea.
Well, it's like this. What is it? I guess because this is going to get thrown in, the doctrine that's not a doctrine of free will. It's not a doctrine. It's something we come up with. So I have a free will, right?
Yeah.
The only true free being is God.
Yes. Yes.
Period.
Yes.
The only one with the free will you think you have is God.
Yes.
So...
Well, and there's a significant difference between free agency and free will. Right. I think we talked about this a while back on the podcast, where I think it was the episode where I said you cannot be an Arminian and be a Southern Baptist. And I remember I think Justin, you were like, well, you can't be a Calvinist and be a Southern Baptist because it's free will. The Baptist Faith and Message never uses the term free will. It uses the terms free agency. Free agency. And you think about a free agent in sports. Is a free agent free to go to any team he chooses? No.
Unless that's right.
Unless that team initiates and establishes a contract. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't have free will in the sense that you can jump to any team that you want. You are a free agent, meaning you are responsible for how you respond to the initiation of the Holy Spirit, right? And you can resist, yes, but you are responsible, but you're a free agent. You don't have free will, and it does go back to
you just made a whole bunch of people mad with that.
But it's true. It's just true, and I do think that, and I don't know why people. I genuinely don't. I think it goes back to because it is you cannot get more creaturely than realizing God is the one who does this stuff, and that you can't say to him. That's what Paul's argument is in Romans 9. How are you to say? How is the pot to say to the potter, "How dare you make me like this?"
And so think of the message of Genesis 3, where the serpent who had his wings knocked off and now is crawling around.
Okay, the dragon.
Yeah. So the serpent looks at Eve and says, "Did God say, no? You could be like God." And so yet we want that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, wait, don't take away Whereas the temptation would be, hey man, don't let somebody tell you can't freely.
And that's what I would
look
say.
at
Is
God and say
we
no.
don't want some, because people, like when you say to somebody, go say to a Baptist, or, really, I mean, one who doesn't understand like the faith and message, the free agency, free will, say that you don't have a free will, and they're like, what? Do you mean I don't have a free will? And they get mad.
Yeah.
And it is something like, why do we get so mad at that?
Yeah, but
What's
I'd also,
the, like,
but
why-
I would also say most of those people, if you explained it in a calm conversation, they'd be like, "Yeah,
I agree. I'm not that
Jesus."
free after all.
But here's the
You
thing:
know?
be careful, bro. Don't take up your banner
Yeah.
for something that Bible doesn't really
Yeah.
say. It's something we've created in that. You're responsible though. That's the part.
No.
Because it does matter, the ideas that we teach. I mean, because like, for example, this is a guy, I know his upbringing, that asked that question. I mean, he grew up in like independent kind of circles.
That's right.
Where it's like, dude, for him, it's repugnant, the idea that God predestines. And it's like, well, man, like that is,
Who else you want to?
that is there in the book. Like you can't, you know what I'm saying? And so it's,
Well, do you
it
trust God?
matters,
Do you
these
trust God to
ideas.
do what's right and to do what He's going to do, and whatever He does is actually glorious and good? Here's the thing: if you actually trust that, you're actually been chosen by God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like, I don't trust God because I need to make a call here. It's like, bro, He's God. Whatever He does is wonderful. Whatever that is,
He's good. He's a good God.
good.
He's a good father.
Who he is. It's who we are. Who we are.
All right, let me ask my last serious one, then we'll do your one and then mine. Are you done? You done with them?
I'm done.
How do you be still for God, and how is that supposed to look like every day? I'm assuming that's Psalm 46:10. Be
Yes.
still and know that I'm God. You know, of all the verses, talk about taking verses out of context. I mean, I didn't know this until a couple months
You
ago.
said Psalm 46.
Psalm 46:10. You know the context of Psalm 46 when they say it was written?
Come on. I
You know
love
this?
this. I love it when you do this. Go ahead.
This is sick.
I really do.
It was battle, right? Wasn't it like
Bro,
a
it was
battle?
it was when Hezekiah and the Assyrians are coming against him.
Yes.
And he
You
cries
see
out to
it.
the
You
Lord.
literally, yeah.
He cries out to the Lord and he's like, Lord, we are about to get leveled.
I
if you
can
don't-
watch this happen.
Like, we're about to get leveled if you don't
Yeah,
do something.
yeah.
You know what the Bible says? Oh, you guys read it. Hang on. It's
Yeah.
because it's better if I think let's see. Hands on the Lord. Oh, hang on. Wait, this is worth it. 2 Kings 19, Josh. This is worth it.
Let's do this.
I didn't know this until a couple months ago, and when we go through Psalms this year, I'm preaching this. Let's see. This is verse 32. Okay, so Hezekiah's prayed. Isaiah's working with, prophesies over Sennacherib's fall. Right. That's when it says in verse 32. Therefore, thus says the Lord concerning the king of Assyria: He shall not come into the city. He shall not shoot an arrow there, or come before it with a shield, or cast up a siege and mount against it. By the way that he came, by the same he shall return, and he shall not come into this city, declares the Lord. For I will defend this city for my own sake, and for the sake of my servant David. And that's what he says. Bro, this is, talk about Bible, right? And that night, the angel of the Lord, who I believe in the Old Testament is Jesus, different conversation, angel of the Lord, went out and struck down 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. And when the people rose early in the morning, behold, these were all the dead bodies. Then Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, departed, went home and lived at Nineveh. And he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch his god. Adremelech and Trezar his son struck him down with the sword, and he escaped into the land of Ararat. So that's 2 Kings 19. And then here's Psalm 46, which they say, come on, pull up faster, the Wi-Fi. They say that this is what they sung, the sons of Korah, that the context of this. Psalm 46, God is our refuge and strength, a very present and help in time of trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way, though the mountains be moved in the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. There's a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. Remember, they're trying to get into Jerusalem, but she shall not be moved. God will help her when the morning dawns. The nations rage, the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, and the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. So come behold the works of the Lord, how he's brought desolations on the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow, he shatters the spear, and he burns the chariot with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations, and I'll be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Sick. And so you can imagine like 185,000 dead bodies.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the Lord is our fortress.
Yeah.
So be still and know he is God. That's filthy.
Amen.
That'll preach itself, dude.
That's
will.
good.
That's sick.
That's so good.
And so, yes, I think this is more, not that we shouldn't practically do this. I think it is more of it's more than just, I'm going to turn on my ambiance music and be still for a second. I think it's more than that. But also I think there is something to that. Like there is something to like in the turmoil and the struggle of life. It's, I need to pause for a second and know that when I don't do anything, the world keeps spinning and God's still sustaining and God's still holding all this together. And he's God and I'm not, man. And I think,
There's something about
That's
that.
sick,
There's
dude.
something about that in the discipline of the Sabbath. It's like, you know what? You just need to stop.
Yeah.
I don't feel like stop. I know that's why you need to stop. So you basically realize I hold it all together,
Yeah.
even when you stop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's Psalm 3, man. I lay down and I slept
I do.
and I woke again the next day for the
Let's
Lord
go.
sustained me.
Let's go.
So yeah, bro, you
I
can
pray
can
that
sleep.
for everybody.
It's like, bro, David is
Oh.
running. He's running from Absalom.
Yes, he
And
is.
he's like, I can go to sleep.
That's right.
My enemy's chasing me.
Come on.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yep.
And I'm gonna wake up again
Mm-hmm.
because God protects me.
That's right.
Duh, that's sick, dude.
I'm gonna take a nap.
I want to go to church,
Take a
man.
nap.
I'm gonna take a nap on
Even
that.
in this trouble of life, Lord, help me to nap, knowing that you got it all under
Come on.
control.
That's so good,
That's right.
That's
Chills,
just
man.
That just lands on the ground.
man, dude. That's so good.
But
That's
we need,
so
but we
good.
need to ask for it. We need to ask for it. Lord,
Yeah.
help me.
So
I know
good.
it's a thing. Help me to know how to do that right now because everything sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, to be, I taught on this years ago. Being still is like, I remember it was a professor that we had preach on it one time in chapel, and then I carried it with me. It says it's not original to me, nor is it original to him. But be still. It's like I can't remember. There's like 3 different things that it like carries with it in Hebrew. One is to stop, and it's just to completely cease from activity, right? Which I think is a good thing of like be still, like stop what? Well, stop worrying, stop being fearful, just stop. Like just stop and understand that he is who he says he is. One meaning is to let go, which is a really like kind of interesting thought of like to be still means to let go, right? So think about all the things in your life that you're like clinging on to, where you're trying. It's this idea of control, like it really is in large part, where you're just clenching ever so tightly to this. And he says, "Be still." He says, "Like let go, let it be." You know, and then I don't remember the third. And so I'm just trying to think like practically, you know, what
I was
is it?
so excited
I
for the
was,
third.
I was gearing up for number 3.
You probably
were
find
preaching
it
a sermon,
somewhere.
buddy. I was like,
Nah, I
yo,
don't remember it.
when you do, please yell it out.
Yeah, the Lord didn't want us to remember that today.
Oh, stop.
Anywho, but I think practically though it is helpful to think like
Yeah, it's true.
yeah,
Stop,
because you do
let
think
go.
about like because it is ultimately it even goes back to that creator creature thing like where
Yeah.
you're like you want to control your life, you want to be the one that puts these things together. You worry about this like you know all these different things and God says no, like be still, stop, just stop, you know, let go. You know what I mean? And I mean the corny Christian cliche, let go and let God. It's actually there in the text. Like that's not a.
That's cool. So I pulled up the interlinear and just I copy and pasted that Hebrew word and parsed it, and like literal the root of it is to drop and let it. It's to sink down, to drop and let be.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
So literally I've never known that. So
Yeah.
like it literally has a connotation of dropping.
yeah. It's like clench your.
That's cool.
He did this in a sermon. He goes like clench your hands like as tight as you can,
Yeah.
and then let go. And that relief you feel,
That's
he's like,
it.
that's what
That's
it
be
means
still.
to be still.
That's right.
And I was like, that's really good,
And the
dude.
crazy part is you
That's
don't
cool.
feel that
Until you let go, exactly, because you're so used to being
Boys,
wound up.
we are preaching.
I mean,
You're
think
so
about it.
used
Have you
to
ever,
being
I was just thinking
wound
this, when you
up.
said that, before
Yeah.
you said that, I thought, have you ever just disciplined yourself? Because I do this every once in a while. I just turn it all off. And I just
The
sit.
silence and solitude, man, is a good spiritual discipline.
You literally can physically feel something just go. Yeah. And how, maybe we should discipline ourselves to just say, you know what?
I'm gonna do nothing for the next
I'm just
30
going to
minutes.
turn off everything and just
I'm
not going to
sit
worry about
still.
thinking about anything. Just,
I'm not even gonna be thinking, how can I hear from God? In
No,
this
I'm just
moment?
gonna
I'm just gonna sit.
and I'm going to allow myself, if I think about anything, I'm going to allow myself to feel it.
Yeah. you could it's an incredible thought.
So good.
Yeah, it's therapeutic.
I agree.
Which I
So
think
it's
is good.
not therapeutic. I'm having all these flashbacks doing these Hebrew words, and it's like the call perfect and the hifil. I'm like, oh gosh, it's freaking me out, Josh.
What?
Bro, Hebrew sucks.
Hebrew's so
Oh,
hard.
you're in Hebrew.
is-
You're in Hebrew.
are you in it right now?
Are you in Hebrew?
No,
right
no,
now?
no, never again.
You're in Hebrew too, right?
Uh,
It's awful.
You're in Hebrew?
I'm saying like the call
You know,
perfect.
there's a decaf way you don't have to do.
I'm still convinced that they don't need to teach you that.
I'm glad they still. No,
still
I will say
convinced
that
they don't
I'm
need to
glad
know. I'm
they
gonna tell
still
you,
do.
Legitimately?
Because there's a whole group of people that literally, if you don't know the original languages, they think they don't have to listen to you anymore.
Yeah.
And those people I love, but I despise.
Well, I'm just glad. Yeah, I get that. I'm glad
Oh,
they
you don't
still-
know the original language, like, bro, I got AI.
Greek is very useful.
I'm glad they still do, because for the ones that it does, it unlocks something in someone's brain
agree.
that still will
Some
work to
people-
translate the Bible, which is
I'm not
great.
downside
Yes.
because the more languages,
Yeah.
you're smarter. You're
Yeah,
smarter. You're smarter.
but is it something that like you need? I don't know.
Do you need that in your toolbox?
I think most masters don't.
No.
But
Yeah,
if you want it, go get
Will
it.
you say Greek is more helpful than Hebrew?
I mean, I'm saying that very recency bias because I've been in John for so long, but yeah.
I think so. Well, and because it's
Hebrew's just hard.
Well,
man,
and
too.
because you
that's
have
true.
that where it's like that's a very
Well,
like.
how
that
do
is
you
a
even know the
very-
Hebrew
The
you're learning
Septuagint,
is
for those
the
that don't
real
know,
Hebrew?
is the Old Testament in Greek.
Right?
And it
Isn't
was
that
like
true?
a very reliable
Like,
source of the Old
Do
Testament.
you even
so
know
it's
that the
not like
Hebrew
a-
you're learning is the real Hebrew?
You don't know it sounded like that.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and also vowel
Who
markers were added
knows?
later, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Greek's important though.
Greek-
I
Greek
agree.
is good
Greek
to-
is very important. Hebrew. Have you taken Greek yet? Greek's so much easier, and I do genuinely believe it's so much more important.
I can still like with the Greek New Testament, I can still read it out loud. I don't know what I'm reading. You know what I'm saying? But like it sticks in your head better. Like, oh, that's the
Because
letter of the alphabet
it
that says that.
transliterates into actual English words, whereas Hebrew is just hieroglyphics.
Yeah, I have the I
It
do
is
have this pet
absurd.
peeve. I do have this pet peeve when someone like quotes the Greek word. Like the Greek word, the definition means this, and I'm like, bro, you don't know Greek.
That's not. It's more.
Like, don't just quote a Greek word just to be able to say, hey, this is. It's like, no, if it actually helps enhance the meaning, then yes. You know what I'm saying? Like if it actually.
My favorite is when
enhances-
they try to say it.
Yeah,
Because I'll say it. I'll be like, the Greek word is this. I'm not going to try to say it.
yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
my favorite. is
I,
when
th-
they're
I mean, I can only think of a couple times, and I mean, it's like a self flex, but like, there's been many times that I've learned something in like studying the Greek of it. There's only been a few where
It
I've
was
actually
necessary.
brought that out in the sermon in the sense of you need to see what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did I tell you about the time Mueller came and preached at Southeastern and was
No.
adamant that we say Baal wrong?
Baal, always
Yeah.
yeah.
Baal. And he kept saying Baal.
It's like cool, bro.
And it was like, dude, I'm not convinced that you're even saying that right.
Yeah,
I think Baal is way better.
yeah. I know. So here's what. So this is a cool one. It's a cool example, just because it came to my mind. But so like Romans 8, we were just talking about a second ago. Those whom he called, I hope I get this order right. With those he called, he justified. Those he justified, he glorified. Right? Isn't that the order? It's the order salutis, order salvation. People debate or whatever. But what's cool, and this is where Greek comes in, is those verbs. I hope I don't mess this up. This is off the top. But those verbs are in the aorist tense, which means it is a verb that's it's in the present, but the action's already completed. So what's cool is even though I'm not glorified yet, because I'm still pure,
Yes.
it's like God's word is so good
Yes.
that, bro, you already are.
You
You already are.
Like, because God's word is so good. Because you know what I'm saying? And that stuff where it's like, you don't get that in English. You know what I mean? I know, shout out to Luke Plummer. He pointed out something really cool to me.
Good job, Luke.
He pointed out something really cool to me in John. And again, this is something that didn't make the sermon because I don't think it necessarily has to. But in John, and the New American Standard does this really well, it points out, this is off the top of my head. I think it points out verbs in the perfect tense. I think that's what it does. Is something, and there's like an asterisk on each verb. Like if it's a verb in the English translation that's in the perfect tense, it puts an asterisk on it. And when you're reading the crucifixion counts of Jesus in John, John 18, John 19, there's not a lot of those verbs. Just talking about what happened. You flip to John 20 in the resurrection, and it is full of present tense verbs. And what it is to us, we just keep reading it and we don't think anything of it. But what John is doing there is, I think John, inspired by the Holy Spirit, very intentionally shifts the verb tense that he's using.
Emphasis.
which is so cool because it emphasizes, the resurrection happened, but it has ongoing realities for the future, which is amazing. So cool. So
and here's
cool.
the thing, and I want to say this because this is so good. And if you've been hanging, this is something that reminded me. This is why you pay attention in English class.
Yeah, for sure.
Because speaking and verb tenses, I mean, literally, some of you just probably verb tense present. You will understand the
Matters,
word of
man.
God so much
Yeah,
more.
that
It's
matters.
like, so give your English class to the Lord
Yeah.
and say, help me learn all of it.
Yeah,
all of it.
It matters, man. I mean, because
So
even
much.
like being able to, we're such nerds right now, but like even being able to just stop and from an English perspective, not even a Greek perspective, English, like this week. So spoiler, if the students listen to this, if this goes up today, they're gonna get spoiled, but whatever. So like we're preaching on the Great Commission tomorrow night. So go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all I commanded you. Okay, so make disciples is the command.
Yeah.
And then baptize and teach explains how we're to make disciples. That's not a Greek thing. That's not even like I have a pastoral degree thing. That's just slowing down knowing English.
That's
you know what
exactly
I'm saying?
right.
And like when you understand that and you slow down and just think like, okay, like this is a cool Bible tip for someone listening. It's like, okay, take a paragraph and say, okay, what's the subject here? Write the subject down. Okay, what's the verb here? And normally, a paragraph is kind of going to have one
You
subject.
can make sense of it.
And there's going to be one, maybe two verbs, and then there'll be some things that and this is crazy, diagram that out. It'll help you understand the Bible better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It really, really will,
I remember in school
which is super cool.
diagramming sentences,
Yeah.
and I remember in seminary being so thankful I had to diagram sentences.
See, I was gonna say, low key, seminaries should teach more English than they do. Like, because as a pastor, most of the time you're gonna preach in English.
Yeah. Most of the time.
I remember I was talking to Chuck Lawless. I
I
said
emailing
something-
him today.
I said something. I go, yeah, like my wife and me, and he goes, my wife and I. He says, Brad, remember, you preach in English. You speak in English, and your words matter the way that you speak them. And I was like, that's really good, dude.
That's a good point.
And so, like, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just
English.
slow down and diagram it. And you'll
Yeah.
understand it better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to know it.
There's a whole bunch of people that say, what do you mean by diagram
Yeah.
sentences?
Look it up.
Look it up on YouTube. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a lot of videos.
All right. So two more questions. What's your second? option?
Mine was literally just thoughts on my fantasy football draft. Like, who should I draft? Like,
It's ruining football.
I
Let me see
I
that.
will say, have I
thoughts
told you?
on my fantasy football draft? Yeah.
So I love seeing the fantasy draft fantasy football punishments.
dude, those are brutal.
Have
Those are brutal.
you seen the one where the guys to play golf? Have you seen this one?
They do what?
Okay, this is do you know what I'm talking about? So
Guys-
I shaved my head a year and a half ago. High school, I shaved
you
my
lost?
head because I finished last. I'll never play fantasy football again. So they shaved my head. They shaved my head in the bathroom of the church. So for those that aren't sports people, it's whoever comes in last. There's
Yes.
a predetermined. This is the punishment.
Yep.
So two I've seen recently that I love. One was a golf thing. This is so funny. So it's like, say we're all in a league. Okay, say I finished last. Then me and you would go out as a twosome, and we'd have to be paired with two random guys. Like you'd have to go on golf now and be paired up. And I would have to play
Like
an
a
imaginary golf ball.
Oh, the whole time.
I wouldn't hit a golf ball the whole time. And I couldn't tell the two guys were playing with what I was doing. So I would stand up, I'd take a tee, put it in the ground, no ball, swing it, walk somewhere in the fairway, pull out a yardage thing, and like you literally, and you can't tell can you imagine playing with a guy that's playing an imaginary ball, and you're like, what the crap is this dude doing? And so what was great, what was great was the guy did it.
So
They
good.
made those golf reels where it's like the round in like less than 2 minutes. He literally does it. He says, so I'm standing on the tee, feel pretty good. Hit a swing, kind of hit a cut, was in the right fair. And he's like talking through
his shot.
as if he hit an actual shot. And then his second shot was like out of the rough, 145, hit it to 2 inches, made birdie there, nice and easy. I just like literally, he's making up the rounds. That was great. And then the other one I saw, this is great too, is the last place was they had to go to a neighborhood in the middle of June and trick or treat until we had 10 pieces of candy. And
that's
so
pretty good.
he's knocking on the door. And
Does he have to
they're
wear a
like,
costume?
Yeah. And so
Yeah, I
who
like
dressed as
that.
Harry
I
Potter?
like that.
So the people's coming, they're like, hello. And he's like, trick or treat. And they're like, it's June. And his line every time was, I know I'm missing it this year. So I'm getting ahead.
Yeah, make it to where he can't say this is punishment.
He can't say it's
And he
punishment.
can't say it's
He's like, I can't this year. I'm busy on Halloween. So I'm trick or treating now. And he gets like,
pretty good.
he literally gets 10 things, and he gets like $1 from someone, canned goods from someone. Like, wait, he gets 10
That's
things.
so good.
That's
I
awesome.
like that.
I like
I like
that.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I know back in the day, it was like draft the running back first because they're high volume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
It's like draft Bijan.
actual advice here for
Draft
the listener.
Bijan.
Yeah.
Bijan's gonna get a lot of carries this year because the Falcons are gonna be really bad.
You do running backs first for volume. You're gonna get more points, more touches. And the quarterbacks, we would always wait for quarterbacks. We wait.
Yeah, that's what everyone says, but I feel like oftentimes the team with the
Unless-
best QB,
unless-
Josh Allen or
if you could jump on that early, but I don't
like if
do
Josh
fantasy
Allen's sitting there
anymore.
and you're 6 overall, probably take Josh Allen, like that kind of vibe, maybe.
Yeah, you could maybe. I used to play. I haven't played it. I didn't play it last year.
Yeah.
Got asked to do it this year. I was like, bro, no. Like,
Yeah, I played 1 year. You don't play anymore, do you? Yeah, I played my first ever year. Drafted Tom Brady and Randy Moss the year that Brady threw 50 tutties.
Oh, you killed
And
it.
I ran away with it. Oh man, it was awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
I think I went undefeated, legitimately. Yeah, I just don't play fantasy football anymore.
Well, for me, it never failed that like it would be Sunday, and I would not check like the injury report or anything. I'd be like, oh crap.
Oh yeah,
and then I would be late.
Yeah.
And somebody laughed at you going,
benched, and
Well,
it's like,
that's
dude,
what
I can't
happened to
even fill
me.
this
That's
guy
happened to me
in.
with the shaved head. Was I think I started off the year 3-1.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm good. Like I'm not gonna be. Those teams like 0-3. A couple guys were 0-3, and I was like, I'm good. Narrator, he was not good. And I was not good. And so,
Yeah.
I remember the last year I really cared about it was in college, and I remember I like would really follow. And I had a kicker. I remember this so vividly. I had a kicker, and I was down like 5 points going into Monday Night Football. And the other guy had nobody on the team, and so it was just a kickoff.
You're like, I'm gonna win.
I'm gonna win. So here's what's crazy. So in kickers, you get points for making field goals. You lose points when you miss field goals. So they actually deduct. So there was a time he made 2 field goals. I went up. I was ahead. He missed like a 40-yarder. I went back below, and then catch this. Their team was getting beat so bad. They're down like 3 or 4 touchdowns. In the fourth quarter, I'll never forget. I remember so vividly. I don't remember the teams or the player, but they were in field goal range 3 times in the fourth quarter.
They went for it.
They went for
They
it.
went
And
for
I
it.
was
Let's go.
yelling at the
That's so
TV
good,
so
dude.
mad, and I've never played.
See, that's why like I can't do fantasy. But for the list, you do want to go running backs. You want to go running backs, wide receivers, and then pick up a quarterback later on.
Especially if it's
unless
a
you get
PPR league,
steal,
points per
which
reception.
most are.
Yeah, if you get a wide receiver that's catching like 6 balls a game.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah. it's-
Hop on a pretty high, and your draft board will kind of have it like the top players. They'll show you the availability. Just it was a girl that asked the question. That's why, because it's like you're like, dude, they know this. Some girls don't know that.
Yeah.
and so it would be helpful for her to
Did you see the clip of Brenda Song? Shout out to the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody back in the day. And Brenda Song is like a massive Rams fan, and they brought her into the booth, and like she actually knows ball. Did you see that? That's pretty great.
I
That's
haven't
pretty
seen
good.
it. What is this, dude?
What is this?
Is this
What
your
are we
Iron
doing?
Fist, man?
My wife
what
was
is
given
happening?
this by a teacher. I don't know
Your
exactly.
wife was given
Why did you just grab it?
The thing is
Because I've
hard.
been bumping my head on it the whole time.
dirty, dude.
But do we want to? You said were you meaning betting has ruined sports or fantasy football?
Fantasy football is we're in sports
Betting has ruined
Why?
sports.
I'm
Betting, of
with
course.
you on the bet. Why
Betting
fantasy?
is-
Why fantasy football?
because it basically has removed this is my team. I am rooting all in. It's made you so spread. This is philosophy. It's just my opinion.
Yeah,
That I'm like,
This is not based on
It's-
anything.
yeah. I never did that for me,
Nothing.
but I get it. Yeah.
but it's like because
Oh,
all
really?
of a sudden I love players
You
as
started
opposed
doing
to
what?
my team.
Oh, really?
What?
So you
Talking about.
I said I stopped playing because of that because I would watch and like root for a player on
Yeah.
a team that I hate.
you're like, I
On
need
the
you to
team
get a
that you-
touchdown. I
yeah.
need you to get a touchdown here.
And
I
there was
was-
something wrong about that.
Drove me
There was just
crazy.
something wrong about
Yeah.
that. So that's what
I
I
was
would say,
able to
man.
separate it.
I mean, hit your horse to a team and say, I love them.
yeah.
What about the other team? I hate them. All of them. Every single one.
Every single one.
else.
Get them out of
Yeah.
here.
You know, that
Yeah.
because here's the other part. I think fantasy football, okay. Y'all asked me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad.
good,
Yeah.
I think fantasy football is what you have in college sports right now. Nobody's faithful to any team. Everybody's going to wherever they can get paid.
That's what you have amongst the
Oh.
players.
Jeez.
But that's what fantasy football is.
Yeah.
I need these players because it's going to get me wins.
Yeah.
As opposed to I'm on that team. Let's build that team. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's-
It's cool. It didn't do that for me.
I know.
Yeah, it didn't really.
You
do that for
sure?
me,
Because
to
you don't
be
play
honest.
anymore. So how do you know?
No, it did. Yeah, it didn't do that for me.
I got
Yeah.
tired of losing.
There it is.
I
There
just-
it is.
I would always it always felt like something I had to keep up with, and then I would
That
and then
was
I would
me.
get
Yeah.
into it, and I would lose by like a couple points, and I'd be like, "He's stupid," and then I'd be like, "All right, I'm done."
I just never really got into it. That 1 year was the year I was into it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is so dumb." Like,
I remember sitting in guys' living rooms, dude. Like, we'd have like
oh, fantasy drafts are
we'd
fun.
all- yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it was,
fantasy
like,
drafts are fun.
Tons of fun.
We went to me and the high school guys that year. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings, had our fantasy draft in Buffalo Wild
You know
Wings.
what
It
I'm
was
saying? Like, it's a vibe,
It
bro.
was
Like
fun.
it's a good time.
So the last question, speaking of teams we love, and we all love this.
Speaking of
We're
teams.
unanimous on this team. So I think it's
Tar
time.
Heels, right, Josh?
Yeah. I think it's. I do think it's time. It's tradition of the podcast in the fall.
Bring it
is
back.
we talk about the Panthers every
I
time.
agree.
And one of the questions was, which I did kind of laugh at this question, is
How bad?
we'll use it to
How
segue
good?
to our predictions for the year. So I think that'd be fun to have on the record. It'd be fun. But the question was, will Bryce Young win the MVP? And they're obviously kidding.
Why
no, it's
not?
I
Why
mean,
not?
You're gonna. Speaking of betting, you want to bet on him winning the MVP?
No, but,
Yes.
but why not?
I think he'll be good. I think he'll be
I
good.
mean, why not?
I think he will be good.
Yeah, I think he's
he'll
gonna take a step. Yeah, I think he'll take a step. He's taking a step every year, so why not
Yeah,
this
I
year?
predict we will make playoffs, and we'll probably win a couple games.
Okay, so let's do
in
this. So what's our prediction for the year? We got it on the record.
Like a record?
You wanna know record?
Yeah,
Like,
I want it on the record. What, like, on the record for the podcast?
Yes.
So we can come back in January and listen back to this episode.
Wild card.
What's our record? Let's do our record.
okay.
Record, and then if playoffs, how far?
How many games total is it?
17.
17. God, I don't know. That's tough for me to say now. I can't. Y'all give me records. Y'all.
I'm
give me
I'm going to
records.
go all in. I'm
I
gonna say we win the
like
division.
wild card weekend.
Win the division?
Oh wow.
I say we win our that
I like that.
area.
I like that.
I say we win it
Okay.
this year. I do
10
think
wins, 11 wins?
10 wins, easy. Yeah.
10
Easy.
wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll be more happy this year than we are.
10 wins.
I was pretty happy last year.
10
Last year was
wins.
fun.
I think it's going
Yeah.
to go a step. I do.
10
Sure.
wins.
Yeah. I believe we win the division like
And then do we win a playoff game?
Yes.
One game?
Yeah. At least one.
At least
Wow.
one. I like that. Do you have a number? I already know what I'm going to say.
Panther Stadium be rocking for
9
yeah,
wins, we win the division, but lose in the first round.
Okay.
Okay, I like that. I'm 10 wins as well.
I'm a little less. hopeful.
I'm 10 wins as well. I think we win the division, and I think we win one game in the playoff. I think we win one. I think we win the opener.
I think Charlotte goes nuts.
I
The
think-
opener. The only problem with that, though, the only disclaimer, and that's my prediction, so I'll stick with it, is if it holds true, is the wild card's probably coming out of the NFC West again, and they're loaded.
They are.
So it's like you might lose. That is the thing. You might lose in the first round. That's not a
it's not a
yeah.
bad thing.
It's
They're
like
so
that.
good.
That's not an indictment on how bad. You know
They're
what I'm saying?
so good.
Yeah. That's
eight,
it.
8 or 9 wins. I don't
Now you
think-
guys pick a number. We won 8 last year.
Come on, man. You got to go better than
You
last
said
year,
9.
You said 9
You
wins.
said 9. I mean, they did make some good moves in us, but it's a long season, and
Help. This is obviously help. Is
that's just saying things happen. I think we can do 9. I think 9.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 9. I think it's possible.
I like that.
Huh?
Do we win the division?
No,
Okay.
Who wins the division?
Who wins?
I don't know.
Dude, that's one thing. So
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
But-
we should
and
win.
like,
the division.
dude, the Saints. Someone that watches football, please explain to me why the Saints
I
are
think we'll
getting so
scare
much
'em.
love. Like, I know they finished the season strong, but I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback that went from being a no name and Tyler Shuck to everyone is like, oh, bro, but they have Tyler Shuck, and I'm like, cool. Like
He's gonna shuck the corn, brother.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. And then Atlanta is, I mean, Atlanta's abysmal. It's
I'm so glad. I want to
Man.
destroy them if we could
Yeah.
bury them.
yeah, Atlanta's tough. And then I mean, the Bucks right now just seem like they're kind of your boy Baker. Just
Baker.
Baker thinks he's worth more than he is, and he just,
Baker.
Listen,
you know,
man, I like Baker.
I do
You
like
do.
Baker.
I
too.
like Baker, dude.
But Baker's pulling a Baker.
I like
Baker's
dude,
Baker's
look,
pulling a
man. All
Baker.
the-
Did you see their owner when basically Baker threw the organization onto the bus, and the owner was basically like, "Yeah, we understand Baker." And I'm like, "Yeah, because if you sign Baker Mayfield, like you know he's going to speak his mind.
Yeah, you're getting,
what
you're
it
getting
is.
Baker Mayfield, dude.
Yeah, I will say to have his back, I do feel like he was a little disrespected in their offer to him. I do feel like that.
Yeah, Baker
not
is-
much, not so much in money, but I feel like in years, I get what he's coming from.
Trust him. Trust the guy.
You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know.
No, I think
They offered him $50 million. Didn't
that's
they?
about to
Yeah,
say.
but I don't think it was a money thing. I think it was a year thing because they didn't offer him more than 2. I don't think. And those dudes won't long term. Like
He's like, yo, I'm gonna be here for a while. Make me the franchise.
yeah, I get why I see where he feels like he earned that. But yeah, I can't stand Baker.
Now here's the thing. I would say if he puts together another
Baker
year,
hater. Jeez.
I would say if Baker puts together another year like he did last year,
Scum.
then you might have an argument that okay, bro.
Yeah, I think in his camp he's
But if he
he's
eats it
he's
this
already
year-
at the age though
I
where
know.
like he's got to get it now. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
here's the deal.
How old is Baker?
Welcome. You. Here's the deal though. But
He's
quarterbacks,
gotta
guess
be-
what, bro? Quarterbacks, you don't get to call that
30?
shot.
How old is Baker?
Yeah.
30 what?
Is he 30 something?
Yeah, I
Is he
think he's
31.
31.
Yeah. So he needed that deal this year. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. No, I'm pumped to see Bryce, bro. I know.
Me too.
I've been on this record for a long time. I'm a Bryce guy.
I want Bryce to do great, and I think he's going to do good this year.
I just think every year, like we've seen
Yeah, I
a
agree.
step, like a steps in the right direction.
Because I remember
why would
sitting on
not?
this podcast going, I'm done with Bryce.
We're gonna find out.
And I'm like, I'm kind of glad I'm not done with Bryce anymore.
Yeah. I'm
Find
excited.
out.
Because I want him to do great, and he's doing good.
And I will say, I do love how the Panthers have handled it in the sense of like, there's been all the debate of like extending him. Like, I think two things be true at once. I am a Bryce fan. I love Bryce. I think he very well is the guy. But has he done it enough to deserve that extension? No.
And he's young enough, though, to hold up.
If he does it this year, then
If he does it this year, yeah,
sure.
Yeah, if he does it this year, he needs it. I think to me that's the more interesting question than even record is what has to be the bar for him to get like a legit
But I
starting
don't want him to be
quarterback.
stupid, though. I don't want his agent to be stupid and ask for the highest salary among
You won't
quarterbacks.
get that. Yeah, they ain't.
I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
stop it.
Yeah, but that's where it's interesting though, in how the market. Well, that's where it's interesting though, in how the market
It's like dumb.
but how the market fluctuates because the Mac and Bone guys were talking about this on the podcast the other day. Is like, okay, we said $50 million for Baker, and he said no. It's like, bro, if you project out though what some of these other young quarterbacks are gonna get, $50 million for Bryce.
Yes.
If he plays good this year, that might be a bargain. Which is kind of crazy to think, but it's just the way the market adjusts.
It's going crazy.
Yeah,
It's going crazy.
it's just the way it is. Because they were projecting, they ran all the models and stuff, but it was like just assumingly he gets, say, a 4-year, $200 million deal. It's $50 million a year. If you project though where some other guys like Caleb Williams is going to get paid, it's like that would probably put Bryce in 4 years at like the 12th or 13th highest paid quarterback.
How would you like to be one of the incredibly wealthy athletes in New York City, and basically you realize who the mayor is and what they're going for as
Getting
far as the
taxed at
government?
the
It's like,
wazoo.
thank you for completely gutting our professional sports because nobody wants to reside in California or New York.
You know what I will say?
Where-
They all do go to LA.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
they do
But the
go to
thing
LA.
is,
No.
but here's the thing: there's some folks. I mean, if you could figure out how I'll live in Phoenix and work in LA,
Yes.
that's what they're doing. It's like I don't live in LA; I fly in.
One of my favorite, not to go off this tangent, but
Like-
one of my favorite things to just, and it's not rage bait because they're being for real. One of the hilariously funny clips that seem to go viral now is when professional athletes, when they explain to the fan how, I got signed for $20 million, but that $20 million is not exactly what you think it is.
Yeah, dude, I love
I
this.
had to pay $10 million in taxes from the jump. And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
That's a lot of money,
holy,
my
get
guy.
a violin,
That's
bro.
a
Goodness
lot of
gracious.
money, bro.
And I don't,
Oh,
even, I
my
can't
goodness.
comprehend that. But I will say this: obviously, we go, that's no big deal. But we've never had to give up. We've never had to watch $10 million out of our
like that
check.
would be
But what,
painful.
but what they're
That would be
it would
pretty
be, but what
painful.
they're but what they're doing though.
I mean, it's painful for a while. I was like,
but
dang.
I don't know if you've seen these clips, but what they're doing, they're basically playing the
Compassion.
Bro, we don't get paid as much as you think we do. All
Oh, yeah,
this
you get
stuff.
paid a lot.
Oh, and I'm like, bro, it's really hard for you to
But
hear
the
this.
question is-
That would be
yeah,
pretty
The
painful.
question
Can you
is this.
imagine though,
I can
watching
imagine.
that much money just disappear?
just gone.
yeah,
I mean,
And seeing how much money's left in your account.
I mean,
see,
basically,
that's the thing. You're like, man,
if you don't believe me, here's the thing.
yeah,
Have an investment in the stocks and have it in your retirement,
Yeah.
and
And
then
watch
all
it
of a
plummet.
sudden see it plummet by half.
Yeah.
Guess what? You now can understand what a professional athlete has to go
That
through.
would be pretty
Wait,
painful.
yearly
yeah.
That would be
without his choice.
My favorite
That
was
was pretty painful.
my favorite was, if you don't know what we're talking about, my favorite's the Joe Hayden clip. He's the Browns cornerback. He's like, bro, it's like people just don't. He's like immediately, 45%, off the top is taxes. He said then, y'all bought my parents a $3 million house. I bought my house is $4 million. I bought 3 cars, and now before I know it, I'm like, yeah, bud, that's how money works. Like it does run out. Like,
You run out.
$5 million homes and multiple vehicles.
It's like maybe you ain't got to
Hey,
spend
and
$1
have you
million
ever heard,
on
have you ever heard
cars.
this?
Maybe.
Because this is the thing we don't understand, but some people do. It's
So
like
funny.
instantly those athletes. It's not just paying for them; they are now the breadwinner
Yes,
for their
the
entire
fam,
family.
for the
Yeah.
whole
Like
family.
their family now can take a break
For the whole
because
fam.
brother, my friend's running down the
For the whole
making bank.
fam,
I
dude.
think
He's
I'm pretty sure it was
passing
Jalen.
out
I'm
money.
pretty sure it was Jalen Rose
Yeah.
on the E ESPN 30 for 30 on the Fab Five. That's so maybe the best 30 for 30 they've ever done. And I think it's in a section on that. And he sounds like a jerk, but I get it, or I can only imagine. Where basically he's like, bro, the hardest thing that we had to learn to do is cut family off.
Say
And
no.
he said, because you got second cousins calling you, and they're expecting, $30,000.
That's right.
And he's like, you do that one time, and it's like, yeah, 30,000 for them guys wasn't nothing at the time, wasn't anything at the time. So, but then you do that for another cousin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he said that's one of the hardest things that people. And I will say, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. Yeah, that's obviously your parents and your probably immediate siblings are different at the beginning, but even then, though.
But even then, bro.
Even then, they start. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. But it is completely so. I like that. So we said 9. So y'all both on 9 wins.
I'm
I
on,
said 9.
I'm on 10 or 11.
I'm on
I said
10.
9, right?
Do you want to go? You want to go to 11?
Let's go to 11. I'm going to 11.
Whoa.
Whoa. That's
Okay.
wild.
I don't know if it's as wild. I mean,
11.
I don't think I'd
11?
Huh?
3-game jump.
Dear
We've done a 3-game jump 2 years in a row.
Do it.
Yeah, but this is like a big jump.
It is. But went from 2.
But my
5,
big one
8.
is we'll
Like,
win the
this like
division.
big
We'll at
jump, though.
least
I think for me,
we'll at least win one playoff game, and
beyond
I'm
win total
excited.
for me, we need to win the division outright.
Yes.
Like, last year I was the biggest Falcons fan in the world on that Sunday because our fate was in the Falcons.
And I don't
hand.
want that anymore.
If we win the division this year outright, that is a successful year. And then you hope we make some good adjustments in the offseason. And then hopefully that window officially opens.
Make a run for the trophy.
And a lot of
baby.
that's assuming on Bryce playing
Yeah.
well.
It's gonna be interesting. I
can't wait.
11's that's a lot.
Why not? I'm just going to do that. Let's just go.
I'm
Let's
looking
be
at
bold.
the schedule. That's a lot of wins.
I'm not running the
That's a lot of
routes.
It's a tough. I mean,
I'm
you
not
got
throwing the ball.
That's
around
what the
routes.
NFL is awesome at, like how they schedule stuff because like you get a first place schedule,
That's right.
like you get, and I think that's cool.
As you should.
Parity
As you
in the
should.
league as you should.
That's 11's gonna be.
I did though. Last thing I'll say on it, there was all these,
lot.
there's all these reels and stuff going on where they predict scores, or records. And there was one with the Panthers. Yeah, I've never seen this podcast. And they start going, and then like week 1 against the Bears, they gave us an L, which that's whatever, cool. Week 2 against the Falcons.
They want the Bears to
Week
be
2
so
again,
good.
yeah, they do. Week 2 against the Falcons, and the guy's talking. He's like, you know what? I kind of trust Tua more than I trust Bryce. And I'm like, yeah, I'm scrolling past this.
You're
This
an
is stupid.
idiot.
This is dumb.
Yeah, I think it's the easy win.
That's rage,
Week
baby,
2.
bro.
I think week 1 is gonna be tough. Week 2 is.
Well, here's
It's
what's
tough.
But then like weeks 3, 4, 5, like.
What you think? Week 2 in Atlanta's gonna be tough?
No, I don't think it's gonna be tough.
No, I'm saying here's what's awesome.
No,
and
I
it's,
don't
let's just get excited for a second.
Tua.
I don't think
Because
that's-
Let's Joe.
if we beat the Bears at home, which I think is very doable, I
Yes.
think we're very doable.
Yes.
So let's just say let's have fun. Say
I don't
we
think
get
it's
off-
gonna happen, but
I'm saying we could.
It could.
Which so it's just say for fun we get off to 1-0.
Yeah.
Then you got the Falcons away.
Yeah.
Very easy very winnable game.
Yeah.
You got the Browns, very winnable game. Like who's week in Sunday Night Football week
It's
4?
Browns and then the Lions Sunday night.
Oh, bro,
football.
we rolling, huh? Could be.
Lions.
The Lions
were great last year,
We go
though. The Lions
Lions,
were great
Eagles,
last year.
Bucks, Packers.
But like, bro, if we go into a Sunday Night Football 3-0,
That'd be so good.
that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Or even 2-1.
It'll be 2-1.
Even 2-1
It'll
would
be
be
2-1. It'll be 2-1 for sure.
Anyway,
I
that's gonna be
think.
fun. Gosh, I'm pumped. Fire me up, boys.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
Enjoyed it, y'all.
Guys.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for jumping back in. Let's go.
We missed you too.
Go watch some
Like
Batman.
and subscribe.